what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan, like a virgin, touched for the very first time. More on that story later. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. Down there, scowling, it's the Brian.
Hello, I'm just horrified by that statement.
I'm horrified that you're still American. Do you pay any attention? No.
A little bit. No, not really. I don't care.
To my left, but everybody else's other way, it's Lilibet. Hello. The Wonder Girl. Hello, Lilibet. You see? Nice, simple hello. Very cheerful. That's all it is required, Brian. I don't know. Anyway, down there.
Respect.
Okay. It's the man.
One of these days I'm going to drive her insane and no one will notice.
Right, the man who's no longer allowed to perform the Barbie Girl dance on this show. And he can't call any of us immoral, untrustworthy, lying slime, even if he's right. It's the quantum event known as Spanky. Oh, that was subtle. You see, Brian? If even Spanky can do it.
I am the soul of subtlety.
You are.
Everyone who knows me thinks
Yes.
Spanky equals subtlety.
Exactly. I need to turn you up a little bit, my love. Don't worry. It's fine. Oh, you were down on 80. See, the trouble is my volume control on the headphones keeps going up to 100. And
It does that.
yeah, it's really annoying.
It sneaks around.
It does.
When you're...
My volume control my knob turns up to 11.
Of course.
There you
it
go.
does.
Why don't
I
you
want
just
one
make
that does
10
11.
louder?
Uh-huh.
But this is 11.
But this goes to 11.
Ah, dear.
Now that we've established
dues have been paid.
Spinal Tap bona fides. Yeah, okay.
Spinal Tap wasn't the first one. It was Bad News. Bad News was out before Spinal Tap. And it was fucking funny. Anyway. Stuff and things and stuff. Lilibet, how's your week been, my love?
Well, ups and downs. So we had graduation rehearsal that went really, really well. Kind of the best we've had in a long time.
Oh, that's much better.
So, and then I had some stomach issues over the weekend, which is just a bug that's going around. Feeling better now.
Good.
But just kind of taking it easy. Actually, considering maybe.
Would
just
you like me
giving
to write a
myself tomorrow
strongly
off.
worded letter to your stomach?
Well, I have
Cease
had
and desist.
conversations. I may take tomorrow off to just tell my boss, look, I'm just gonna rest.
It's not a bad idea.
I heard DeSantis called it owning the libs. Just saying.
I have many unkind words for that man.
Only many?
Many, many, many unkind words for that man.
Mine
And
is
if he
called
thinks-
the Oxford Dictionary with which to beat him with.
If he thinks that any idea of his is going to cause me to be disrespectful or rude to any student or parent, he's got another think coming.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen, my friend.
Yep. Absolutely fine. I still say America should split into two.
It
I mean, it sort of has
trying
already.
to.
We tried that once.
It did not go well. And we still have people who haven't fully embraced the fact
I know.
that
The
they
South
were
will rise
reunited.
again.
Remember.
That they lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
That they fucking lost.
We're
They
still
are
having a hard time with that.
losers.
So I think really what it boils down to is something like ridiculous huge numbers of people are positive about respecting others and being kind to others and regulating firearms.
But that's a woke
and
nonsense.
respecting each other. No, that's just basic, decent human respect.
I knew that was it.
Yes, basic, decent human respect and common sense.
Yes.
huge amounts of people are in favor of that, and small groups of very loud people aren't.
It's the way of the world, I'm afraid.
So we're just not going to listen to small groups of very loud people.
We wish we didn't, but apparently
You need
the entire
earmuffs.
nation only listens to the loud voices and not to the ones with common sense. Because they're the ones
Right.
talking in a rational tone, trying to make peace and go the middle and all that, and all they can hear is the ones screaming and frothing at the mouth, unfortunately.
Well,
From both
you know,
sides, to be fair.
sometimes you have to make good trouble.
See, my favorite part is
That's
that these people
chicanery,
who don't think that, think they're all macho and tough and liberals aren't. I'll get down and dirty with all of them.
No, that gives me a bad mental image.
Oh,
How's your week been, Brian?
flame those forums. Flame them.
How's your week been, my love?
Not bad. Doing good on the new diet. New diet's good.
That's a good thing.
We had the RPG yesterday.
Okay, we can talk about it now. I was going to introduce Spanky first, but I really can't be asked. You go on then.
It was
It's all right.
fun.
Done with it.
I had a ball. How'd you guys like it?
It was great.
Yeah.
We had a blast. It
I
was
like the
fun.
fact it was a slight break from combat.
Yeah,
appreciate
I also
that.
added 3 new
advanced
scenes
storyline?
today.
Mhm.
It's just City of Ice is just getting longer and longer and
Good.
longer.
The more
Yeah,
we
it's like
solve,
Dragon
the
Ball
more
Z,
there is to
it's
solve.
never going to end.
This is one of the best things about gaming, though, is like spelunking your way through abandoned cities or mines or dungeons or whatever. Like, that is one of the coolest parts of gaming. So,
that
Yeah.
is the
make it
dungeon.
longer. I'm down.
I have
I
to
am
admit,
down.
I was
Bring
deeply upset. I got let down 3 times last night, Lilibet. Hello,
no.
Rita. Lulu. Fucking hell. She's calling me Lulu in chat now. My dragon's name is Tarklu. No, that's not good enough for Retta. It's now Lulu.
Now, didn't Lulu have curly red hair?
I did try and do the shout
Oh,
song.
yeah.
So now we have to come up with some kind of children's
Christ.
song about Lulu the friendly dragon mount.
Lulu.
I'll
the friendly
work on it.
dragon.
I'm not a bloody mount.
Mm-hmm.
You tell that to the Gith Yankee.
Oh, there's no talking to her
Yeah.
when I'm in dragon form.
I'm just saying. I think that you may have one idea. The Gith Yankee has another idea. We'll just see who wins that
And the
battle of
Gith
wills.
Yankees is
Yeah.
funnier, so we're going.
I
with
started complaining, so she started tickling me behind the ear, and I started to purr, and forget the
See,
conversation.
yes, you are.
Yeah, repeating it doesn't make it so. You see,
Yet you keep
ordinarily I
changing
would
into
say,
dragon
"What
form
is
and we
this?"
ride you.
Ordinarily, I'd say,
They
"What
ride
is
you,
this?"
I should
It's not
say.
a democracy. This show. What you know? However,
No.
it's not my show, the RPG. So
This is a
I'm
theoretical
lumbered with
theocracy.
whatever.
It's a shared user experience.
That too.
God, that
Yeah.
sounds dreadful, really, if I'm honest with you.
Share and enjoy.
Go stick your head in the pig. Right.
We'll
Yes.
have to do the Dwarven fight song soon.
It was an excellent session last night. It wasn't too stressful, and it wasn't too long, thank God, because I'm not able to do this anymore. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself. So thank you very much, all
No
of you.
problem. Have fun.
Spanky,
Yes, ma'am.
was there a
What is
satellite
my
delay
week
to
been
your
like?
brain just then?
A little bit of a satellite delay. To get from here to here is, well, that's a journey that takes a lot of twists and turns, and it's over a lot of rough road, and so,
Yeah, no,
Arrival
I
times
really,
may vary.
really, really can't be bothered with anything you say now because I've just said I've seen what you've written in chat.
I will help you put the saddle on. Yes, I sold you out right there.
I'm okay.
I'm a pack beast. How's that spicy stuff working for you, Brian? Oh, bless you. Spanky, how's your week been, my love?
I could complain, but what's the point? It's been a usual week for me lately, so
Yeah.
we'll just leave it at that.
Right, do talking whilst I blow my nose. Now!
It got much better since the weekend got here, that's for sure.
Well, that's
And we
good.
got to do gaming and such. Oh, yes.
Sometimes that just
Forgive me,
makes
who?
all the difference, doesn't it?
It does, right?
Forgive me, who were you talking about there?
That the week got so much better when you guys got to do gaming.
When we got to do gaming in the podcast, that's like...
Sorry,
we
I thought
survived the week
someone
to
had
get to the
actually
weekend.
come to where you live and, you've got a little bit of extra relief blowing. Is that
No,
right?
no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
What kind of saddle? That amazing invisible one that doesn't weigh anything, and you can actually put your hand straight through it. Oh, that's nothing, isn't it? Yes, that's the sort of saddle I want. Yeah, okay,
Or
my
you're
week.
talking yourself into a gilded howdah. just so
I
you
know that's going to happen. It is. No,
Howdah.
Brian.
Roost.
No.
Castles.
You saw the wheels turn!
I know.
Gold.
This is what we have to. This is what we have to put up with.
I may have to go off camera for a bit. I'm having an evil gasm.
Anyway, my week. Time for complaints and moaning. Well, let's start off with something nice.
Oh, well, there she goes. Your character prefers bareback.
I'm 3
I'm being
years
good.
old. I'm just 3. Can't wait
So
for my
much to
birthday.
unpack.
Talk about yourself.
Yeah, we've lost him, I think. I think we've lost him. Yeah, don't worry. Pull
How
yourselves
many
together
times
over
can
the
you
next
fold a
15
double
minutes.
entendre?
I'm gone. I'll be back soon.
Oh, dear.
Is
Right.
there some sort of time record for breaking, Brian?
I don't know. What was the quickest I ever broke you? Because we've broken you a lot.
Oh,
Three
yeah. I
punches.
break all the time. I
don't
am
know.
not unbreakable. However, these are really good ideas.
Have you stopped?
And I'm finding them hilarious.
Note to self.
I'm scared.
Oh,
Lilibet, have you got a stopwatch on your phone or something like that?
I can. Yeah.
All right, that's wonderful. What you need to do is go through all 163 editions of the Flashing Blade,
Oh, wow.
and you can time how long it
That's
takes to
a lot
break
of work
Brian.
I'm planning.
Now, no, some episodes I don't break.
That's
so
true.
You're going to have to.
He's a miserable bastard, those episodes.
Yeah. It's horrible.
So, first things first, my portrait got done.
Yes.
I
That's
suppose
exciting.
I could show it to you. I wasn't really, because I've hung
The
it
one we
now.
looked at last week?
Yeah, did we actually see it on the show?
I don't think you showed it on the show, though. So you should
okay.
show it on the
Put it on the
show.
book of the face.
Now, I should stress, I didn't actually ask for this to be done. I was asked to do it. There's photos of Thomas. But you see, ordinarily I'd say that, why have I done that when I could have just done that? God, brain the size of a pea. I think people have portraits of themselves to be quite vain. You know, you decided to go out of your way to get a picture of you done. It's vanity. You hang it in your hallway. Look, that's me. That's not my cup of tea. But she asked me to do it, and I'm her first bipedal form that she's just to stop him complaining that she's done. So I'll show you what it's like. This is, like I say, first human she's done. There we go. Her name's Carol.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mhm.
And I love her to bits. She also does genealogy. And she does really... Oh, she signed it. Excellent. That'll add the value.
It's very nice. It's very
yeah,
well
it's
done.
really well done. She did a beautiful
For a
job.
first attempt. I mean, it's good for a fifth attempt. So,
Yes, it's really nicely done.
fair dues to her. Can't complain at all.
Carol, in case you're
Except for
listening,
the
that
subject
was
matter.
Auntie asking you to do it 6 more times.
No, she won't be watching this, thank God.
That's what it was good for a 5th attempt meant. Please, can I have 6 more?
You're trying to cause trouble, Spanky.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Keep it up. What else happened this week? I went to see the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with our brother from another podcast, Adam Purcell.
Yes.
Or old
How was
man
that?
Purcell. I have been ruminating and reflecting upon it. God, that sounds pompous. I think possibly it's the best Marvel movie there's been. And that's high praise.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, exactly, considering how good some of the others have been. But they hit everything spot on the head. And
Nice.
it was really good, very enjoyable. The comedy wasn't forced like it was in Thor, the latest Thor film. And it just flowed naturally from the characters. And and it was, you were right, Brian, it was heartbreaking at certain points.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Rocket's origin.
Exactly.
And that
Luckily it
is
was all
an ugly
CGI.
story, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was, I really enjoyed that film a lot. And
Excellent.
I've got, sorry, please.
I have a present for you.
Oh, I'm scared now. It's a sad
I
one.
put a present up in general chat for you.
You see,
There you go.
To look at it, I would need to take you off this kit. Yeah, I'll look at it. Let's have a look. I'm all right with that. That's a stylized version of me.
yes.
I'm all right with that. That's all right.
Beautiful. If
Well, I am only
if we
three.
could just put a little golden saddle on the back, that would be,
I will slap the back of your
Mwah.
legs, young sausage. I really will.
that's whatever foreplay, okay, but just saying.
There's a hell, and I will be burning in it later, and I'm fine with this.
Oh yes.
It's a dry heat.
And
It's fine.
Especially after
I'll
that
be
spice.
I'll be in the pit next door, just wait.
We'll make it a jacuzzi, you know.
Yep, that's it. Jacuzzi, all that. It'll be glorious.
Fart in the bath. Right. Do you want some real serious stuff?
Sure.
Virgin Media.
Oh, your favorites.
Settle back, boys and girls. Brace
Dear
yourselves.
Uncle Richard. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
You know what to expect, so brace yourself.
They're hell on wheels, and yeah.
So anyway, now, as those of you all know, quite simply by watching this, I have a problem. I have several problems with Virgin Media. One is that the internet keeps sporadically going out every evening. And as a result, we lose the stream, and I've got to start it all up again, and it's a pain in the arse. So there's that. There's the fact that my landline telephone, hasn't worked for about 10 years. And we used to have an agreement where I'd phone them up every few months and they'd refund me the money because they couldn't stop charging me. However,
I don't understand why they can't just take that line item off.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, right.
wait, it's good. You're going to like this bit. Now, trying to cancel with Virgin various things is almost impossible. I'll come back to the landline in a moment. I haven't got my phone with me. They recently upgraded me to a 1 gig connection. And on my phone, the Wi-Fi, I was getting down to 50. In fact, at one point, I just did 8 kilobits. Sorry, megabits. And so I phoned them up to try and cancel that part of the contract, and just because it was within the cooling off period, you get 28 days. And, go back to the old thing. Then I got told, well, you'll have to keep the same router. There's me thinking, it's the router that's the problem. I spent an hour and 10 minutes on the phone night before last, going through 3 different departments, each one saying the other department had to sort it out. Every time, and then we'll get back to the landline. I said I wanted to cancel the landline. It'll cost you £500.
No, it won't.
No.
The hell
No.
it will. Is the correct
No.
response to that statement.
Put me on with your manager.
Oh, that doesn't
There
work,
you go.
unfortunately. It's the call centers are outsourced. And the trouble
Yeah,
with
I
that
know,
is
right?
that
They still have
people...
managers.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but all they
can't
have
get
is
to
a
them.
script.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They've got a script.
They're
They
not
can't
actually Virgin
improvise.
employees.
They can't think about what you're saying and react to that. They have to stick to the script. And I feel really
They have
sorry
a
for the
limited
poor
number of
buggers.
options. That's the greatest thing about outsourcing your tech support is you can basically give this to your customers and do fuck all for them
Understand.
and screw them over. Yeah,
I have an idea.
endlessly.
Don't pay them.
Yeah.
Watch how fast it gets canceled.
It'll get cancelled, all right, and I'll end up with a fucking debt collector at my door
Maybe.
again.
You know, make sure you write a letter, record the call saying, cut
hang
it
on.
off. I'm not paying you $500 or whatever.
Hang on.
Go to hell.
Story's not finished yet, Spanky. Shush.
Ooh.
Right. So they've been taking, because what they've done is they've stopped giving me the refund. They're still charging for the landline, which doesn't work, but they stopped giving me the refund. They won't give it to me now. And there's a couple of £100 sitting in there, which I could put towards cancelling it. So there was that. So trying to get the router sorted out, I said I'd like to cancel, please. And of course, those are words they hate. I said, well, we need to check that. No, I want to cancel. Yes, but we need to check if that. No, I want to cancel. What is so difficult about that? But they just keep. It's like talking to a brick wall. So I'm going to try and get hold of their technical department tomorrow. There's no guarantees.
Do they have a store?
No.
There's no place that you go pick up stuff or they sell stuff?
Nope. It's all done online. Which is
That's
great
just weird.
if you're
Google
internet's
around
down.
and see what you have to do to actually talk to someone in
They have
Virgin
one
Media.
depot probably for all of, depending on where it is in England. And that's it. And they ship everything out by post or whatever to everyone. It's pre-configured and
So,
Oh yeah.
it's a nightmare.
tomorrow I am going to attempt to get through to their tech department and see if we can get an engineer out. In the past, they haven't turned up. Or if the one or two have, they say, I can't do anything, I'm going to have to get a supervisor to come and see, and then I hear nothing again. Which is why this has been going on for so long. So,
Then you tell that tech, okay, cancel my account.
and he'll say, I can't.
So get someone on the phone that can,
I
because
can't.
this is
Yeah,
unacceptable.
put on the person who can.
Oh,
Yeah.
full-blown Karen.
Go full Karen.
The
Yep.
trouble is I can't. I haven't got
I
it in me.
understand it's against your nature. However, there are times when you need to do so.
You see, if
There
I get
are
angry, I get...
inappropriate times, and those make it to YouTube. But there are times when you need to do this, and this is.
I
one of
tend
them.
to become, if I am losing my temper and doing that, I just tend to become more polite.
Oh, yeah, that's a very English thing.
I'm not English!
Well, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean, though.
Yeah,
I'm
you
French.
acted, though.
Be extremely
French know how to get
polite
rude.
to show that you're being rude.
Yeah.
Calling me English, you fucking Canadian.
The French. You are as English as the day is long, darling. We love you, but you know what? The French got beaten out of you when you were young or something because they know how to be rude.
Call me Ishmael. I found
Just
my
call,
whale.
Just call her Jenny from the block. She's a Jersey girl.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now get some Jersey on and kick some ass.
Snooky, right? Channel your
Bring
inner
out your
Snooki.
inner Snooky.
Snooky in decades!
I had to dig deep
Thank
for
you,
that
Retta.
one. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we're going to see how it goes. However, I do have one confession to make. It's only right that I come out with the full truth. I looked up, I've got a Pixel 5, and so I looked up to see if anybody else had got this problem.
Fairly common.
All I needed to do was turn the Wi-Fi off on the phone and then back on again.
It reset. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back 101.
Mm-hmm.
And then my computer screen on the car wouldn't work. It's blank. So I've got to stick a needle
Reset
into
to
it.
factory standard.
Got to,
Yep.
got to put a thing in it and push.
Yeah. You got a paper clip somewhere? That'll do it.
Yeah.
I think I have, actually. I'm sure I've got something. Chestnut's
Back
claws.
of an earring?
Thumbtack.
Chestnut's claws.
Yes, that
you see,
too.
the problem is I can't have my ears pierced. My lobes are so thick.
Oh.
So if
Get
I
a
wear,
thumbtack.
I mean, I have got some earrings. I've got some nice putty tat ones, but they're clip-ons.
It's a thumbtack. Yeah.
So, well, exactly.
Push pin.
You mean a drawing
I
pin?
use that to clean the port on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Like he's on a
It'll fit
corkboard, you know,
nice.
like
So
Yeah,
we're going to
or
wait
do you
and
have a
see what
brooch with
happens.
a
But
pin in the
Virgin
back,
Media,
like-
I am calling you out. There's a letter going to my useless arsehole of an MP. And also, I'm contacting the regulator, Ofcom. And we'll see
Sick 'em.
what happens. Yeah,
don't
sick 'em,
care.
basically. No,
give
Ofcom
yourself
does.
the British version of a lawyer. What do they
No,
call
I
it?
mean,
Barrister?
Ofcom does care. Virgin doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Virgin doesn't care as long as the money is going in. They're quite happy
Yeah.
to cut you off as quick as possible.
It's the whole, okay, great. There are regulators and everything. They don't care about them.
I know they haven't got any
They're-
teeth. They've
They're,
got no
they're
teeth.
toothless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Regulators-
it's usually cheaper to pay the fine than actually fix the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because imagine if you're getting a problem, how many other people are having?
quite a few of my friends. And then one turned around
insane.
and said, "Oh, well, no, I didn't have a problem. I managed to speak to somebody, and I got a new TiVo, and I got this out of them." And I'm thinking, "Do you want to negotiate? What you need to do is negotiate. Have you tried negotiating with them?" Yes, I got the. Okay, do you want to do this for me? And he hasn't replied.
Yeah, well, exactly. Put him on the phone.
It's,
This is why I take my
Get
little
your-
brother to when
the
I have to
problem
buy a
is,
car.
how do I put this politely? He used to be a devoted listener of this show, but like most of them, they vanished totally. Yeah, he's a Tory. Need I say more? Conservative.
To Americanize that for you, think Republican.
Yeah. All hail
They're
to
the
the
But in this
corporation.
particular circumstance, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So did he show up at their depot wearing body armor or carrying an AR-15? Because,
You give me ideas, Brian. You're doing well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
have fun.
Oh, that looks like Lucas. Tangerine. Oh, for heaven's sake.
Lemonade.
Orangina.
Lemonade.
That's a very yellow colour for lemonade.
Yeah, it's
Generic
artificial.
Mio. Or Walmart brand
Ah,
Mio.
one of them
Walmart
thingies.
Mio.
So what'd you get?
Yeah.
Soda water and squirt that in,
Just what regular bottled
Just
water.
regular water.
and it bubbles, does it?
No.
No, it just makes it
Oh,
sweet.
smooth lemonade rather than bubbly.
It just makes it taste,
So lemon juice,
Hell kind of lemonade do you have?
No,
freaky?
no. Lemon juice is
Lemonade.
no.
lemon squash,
is
lemon
sweet.
squash.
Lemon juice.
No love. No. All right. So here is I'll do the demonstration.
Why are you drinking out of a plastic bottle when they're bad for the planet? Why don't you use tap water?
These are recycled.
Oh, because most
Are
of our
they
tap water really isn't
recyclable?
drinkable without
Yeah, most of our tap water's not drinkable.
Yeah. Don't
With
drink the
running
tap
it through a
water,
filter.
kids.
Don't drink the
Drink
tap
out of the
water.
hose, but not the tap
Oh,
water.
yeah,
Yeah.
we drink out of the hose all the time.
We drank out of the hose growing up, but you can't have free-range children anymore. So
Oh,
See?
don't drink out of the hose anymore,
that's
kids.
just wrong. That looked so wrong.
It does. But you know what?
But tastes so good, so
It's fucking awesome.
Right
And
then,
it tastes like lemonade without sugar. So that's my demon.
you're right, Retta. Politeness is always the problem.
Mm-hmm.
can't help it. If I lose my temper, I really, really lose my temper. And luckily, since I've been on the hormones and everything, I hardly ever lose my temper now.
This seems to be
It's
one of those
not the-
situations where losing your temper would be good.
Well, no, it's not even losing your temper because then
No,
you
I
just
don't-
yell and get mad.
Exactly.
It's the being
Yeah.
determined
That's what I
that
have been
I
doing.
have all day. I have
I-
all day to be on this phone with you until I get what this situation needs.
I have a suggestion for a possible solution.
Please, apart from
Little
detonating
bit.
them.
You are going over for a visit at some point in time, are you not?
It's true.
Bring some American with you.
Pack a suitcase full. Just for that.
Grab her phone. Take care of this.
Listen,
Look, that's the
Make
next
you
thing.
change it
care.
and just-
This is not your fault. Put me on with someone who can get me what I want.
Yeah.
Dave hated when I did that.
What I'm gonna do.
He's like, that's being so rude. I'm like, it's not being rude. I recognize that these people at this level cannot do what I'm asking them
It's
to
not
do.
their fault.
Put me on with someone who can.
And I do make it clear that I don't blame them. It's, well, what I'll do is tomorrow, if I get through, and I don't get any satisfaction, I'll say, look, sort this out, or the American's going to phone you.
There you go.
Yeah. And I'll say,
I
no,
have
no.
no duck in this fight.
Yeah, exactly. You can do whatever the hell you want. That's a scary thought. News.
That's the American attitude.
News. What news has there been this week? Anybody got any news? Oh, Brian, I posted a thing out. I tagged you on Facebook.
I saw that.
Oh,
That's
thank you,
horrible.
You see, it's not
I just don't remember any of it.
It's not just that the Parkway Bridge.
Oh, no, I know. See, we had an accident like that with the Parkway Bridge.
Yeah.
Which instigated getting all the height requirements, all the signs, and everything that people still
The
ignore.
sort of thing that
So-
it should have been there from the start. Yeah.
Well, it should have been. We did have a no commercial traffic sign on the Parkway.
Do
to stop
people listen
from
to
doing
that?
it? Double-decker bus hit the bridge.
Oh,
People
goodness.
died.
Oh,
People were
goodness.
maimed. It was horrible.
Oh, goodness
So then
me.
they put in flashing warning lights, a nice little DOT turnaround flashing thing, height requirements, and I think we've had 6 this year alone.
It's fascinating to
Now,
watch.
mind you, they did this in 2013. They put everything in, so it's still going on, and people are still ignoring everything. People
You
are
must be
stupid.
this short to go under the bridge.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's quite remarkable, and the bridge standing there quite serenely. Thank you very much.
The bridge is built into the living rock.
Yeah, I mean over here they can't let trains go over the bridge they got crashed into. They've got to check it all structurally and everything else like that. You guys, it's a case of the road's open.
That's because the damn thing's invulnerable.
I know. I honestly think it's a Horcrux.
It probably is. It was built back when people built things to last 100 years.
And that's why they stopped building
had
things to last
4
100 years,
repairs.
because they can't make more money by selling
Yeah,
another one.
exactly.
I mean, I was going to
yeah.
say, I mean, look at the amount of money that is being spent over the years on either the accidents or putting signs up or this, that, and the other. It's a case of at some stage it's got to balance out, and then they're going to have to see it might actually be cheaper to build a new bridge or to hire
You
it.
want to know the funny thing is?
Please.
They can't lower the road.
What?
Everybody's like, lower the road. No, they can't. Water
They cannot
table.
lower the road.
Oh, yes.
It's right next to the lake. If they lower the road, it's going to get flooded naturally without rain. They can't raise it because it's built into the living rock around the lake.
Amazing.
At this point, I view it as Darwinism in action.
I'm quite with you, yes. I mean, all the bloody
It's
signs
hilarious.
are there.
These people who hit the bridge should be disallowed from breeding.
I was going to say from driving, but yeah, all right, that works.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Either
they're
or,
ignoring
you know.
signs that A, you got the height limit, and B, the fact no commercial traffic, but they're still doing it. You
That's
get-
because we
you
got
re-
an Amazon warehouse,
Yeah.
like maybe a mile and a half
You'd
up from
think
it.
they would have released
hilarious.
some sort of memo to the staff. Don't use Parkway.
Oh, they do. They just ignore it. Nobody reads the email.
No one reads the email.
Well, I mean, fair enough. Do you read every email?
Yes. Well, not
Yeah.
spam shit.
Yeah.
Select all, delete.
In my job, I have
He has to.
because,
Most of them are to you.
Oh, damn.
Come fix broken thing.
yeah. Come fix broken thing. Here's a ticket. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if
did
I
not know.
if I don't check my I was out Friday. If I don't go through and check my work email, I'll have 400 emails in a day.
Oh my God Almighty!
And most of them won't actually apply to me personally.
Are
Yeah,
these
that's
being
about how
sent
many
out
I
from the
get.
state or county level, and then
No. This is internal. This is internal email.
bloody hell!
Internal email. Okay.
Is it
now,
people hitting reply all and typing okay?
almost none of them.
God
We-
love them.
Every year we have a drama. We haven't had one this year. We're overdue.
Yet.
Every year we have a
It'll
Evelyn
be an
hit reply all, and then
EF5
everybody hits
drama.
reply all, telling her to stop
Please
doing
stop
reply all.
replying all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then it
Remove me
flows
from
over
this
onto
reply all.
Facebook. And yeah, it turns into a thing every year. Hasn't happened yet this year.
News. Sorry, a little bit.
yes.
Please carry on. I'm sorry, my ADHD
So, I
is
mean,
kicking in.
we have 100+ people on staff, and then probably another 50 support people.
That's amazing. We didn't have anything like that when I was at school.
So we have a huge school. Our school is the size of a small city. We've got 2,500+ kids.
You see, we only had, I think, 600.
Yeah, that's about the size of
Oh.
West Germany.
That's a small town right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small town. So it just requires a lot of management.
Lord, how big's the catchment area?
Not actually that big. I mean,
How fast are they breeding?
land-wise- Well, it's kind of complicated because we have an overlap with another high school, but that high school is charter and they get to. You okay? Are you on fire? They get to pick and choose their kids, and we don't.
Boo boo.
Oh.
Lulu got boo boo.
Oh, fuck off, bro.
Lulu got boo boo. Oh my. Oh, that's gonna live forever.
Oh, I can't wait
That's
till your
gonna
character
live
gets wounded.
forever.
My character doesn't get injured.
Oh, she will.
I know. Oh dear me. Right. Okay. I'm glad Retta's here.
No.
Retta, are you
Yes.
still here? Can you type something, just so I know? Fuck off, Spanky. Just a yes or something like that. I'm going to explain something a little bit. This week, without realising it, I passed an accredited tornado spotter course for the National Weather Centre.
Oh, well, that's fun.
I had no idea it was an accredited course, and there's a certificate.
Hey.
I am a National Weather Service trained tornado spotter. But Retta asked a fascinating question last night. She was a bit confused what is this thing with me and tornadoes? So, years ago, back in the late 70s, there was this book. Now, people watching this on Twitch will probably go, what? It's Twister, it's called. The picture of a tornado there is actually taken. I've seen the photo this is taken from, which is quite beautiful. It is not the film. The film is not based on this. This has a lot more detail.
So there are no flying cows.
No flying cars, but no
Cows.
No cars, love.
Cows.
You're not having
He's
cows.
asking about bovines.
The movie.
The movie
Yeah,
had
no,
bovines.
there's no love, no cows.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. But this went into detail what they knew back in the 70s, which has changed considerably over the years, thank God. And I must have been about 10 or 11. And I read this book, and it's a proper grown-up book. And that was it. I was hooked. Absolutely hooked. He sells it really well. I mean, it's not brilliantly accurate, especially with some of the tornadic descriptions. But it really got me. So that's what set me off on this. And over the years, I've been, interested in it and everything else like that. But YouTube has now reached a point where, and the local weather stations have now reached a point where they're putting their live streams up of emergency weather. Tornadoes and whatever. And we're getting
Oh yeah,
all the
people
rate.
love watching disasters.
That's not the point. Hang on, I'll come to that because it is.
No, I
important.
understand, but
It is
yes.
important. So it's been fascinating watching and learning the radar imagery, how things work. And like I say, I did this course without realizing it was a course and passed. And so I've got to try and work out how to get my certificate because the password for the website doesn't work. I've sent him an email. But I'm actually quite proud of that. I had absolutely no idea.
You should be.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty
It's a worthy
impressive.
basically, if we do come over to the States, I can keep us safe. I've got weather.
It's
I've
going to
got.
be L.A.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. We may not go there. I may just come up and visit you each separately.
Okay.
I've no
We're-
idea what's going to happen, Brian.
I know.
Don't even know if it's going to happen. But I've got radar apps now on the pad and everything else like that. And the thing is, if there's bad weather in the States, I can watch it. And I can look. And because there's some of them doing live streams, like I say. And it's not just the TV stations, it's the tornado spotters themselves. They've got home base who show the radar and discuss it and whatever. It's essentially a weather program, an emergency weather program that they're putting out on YouTube themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's great. I can follow along and compare, see if I get things right. And it's an obsession, I do admit. But we get more tornadoes over here than you guys do. It's just they're far smaller, thank God. And they're almost impossible to chase because Britain's fairly built up.
Have you checked the ratio of trailer parks in England to trailer parks in the U.S.?
The trouble with that is the trailer park figure in the U.S. keeps changing.
That's because of all the tornadoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which moves me on to the next bit. I'm not excited about tornadoes or anything else like that. I hate the bastards with a passion. They're photogenic. I'm more in it for the science. And it's... Yeah, I've seen too many things about what they do. And
we get excited about hurricanes around here. That's it. Nothing
Yeah.
else. Because
Actually, we don't
reason to
get
throw a
excited
party.
about hurricanes until they hit Category 3. Under Category 3, don't even talk to me.
Under that, it's like, yeah.
It's kind of
but,
like
you know.
earthquakes in California. If it ain't
Mhm.
above 6.5, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't talk to me. Under Category 3, I'll move the stuff off the porch.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm that way
It's not
about
worth bringing the
blizzards
plants
up
in,
here.
Right. Yeah.
love for Heather Coe, one of our old listeners. I don't
Oh,
think she
yes.
watches this. She sent me the Midjaw CD.
Oh, good for her.
Yes, damn right. I listen. I shall hardly ever turn my volume up on the system because I'm very worried about the neighbours. And everyone says, "No, we don't hear a bloody thing from you." And I go, "It's all right then." But I did turn it up
Well,
a
you've
bit.
got headphones, don't you?
It's not the same. You don't want warm ears. Not when you're boogieing and grooving, sat on your couch. But yeah, it was lovely, absolutely lovely, and bless her for getting it for me. I'm so grateful. I really am. And that and the last year's one have gone to Adam to be ripped, so I can have it on my phone. I haven't got an optical drive, otherwise I'd do it myself. That might change. Okay, hang on. Anything else?
One thing.
Yes, my love.
There's one tragic passing we should note,
Please.
and that is Jim Brown.
Yes.
Can you go into
not only was
detail
he a
for
great
those of
fullback
us?
for the Cleveland Browns, but
Football.
he was in so many amazingly good movies.
Yes.
The Dirty Dozen, 100 Rifles, like tons and tons of really cool movies. A varied acting career.
Syracuse
and just,
football legend.
yeah, and just a cool guy. Not that there have been a lot of other deaths because the music community has taken a serious hit this year. Gordon Lightfoot died. It was Andy Rourke, the bassist for the Smiths, died. There's been a ton of musicians that have died. So, but who else? We lost Tim Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive. There's
Let's rock. I've got some news. You've just reminded me.
Belafonte too.
First of all,
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte died
Yeah.
yeah,
this week. I saw
No.
nothing about that. I thought he
Month.
died
he
years ago.
died
Within a
April
month.
25th. Damn, he died on my birthday. Poor bastard.
Oh, right. Anyway, a guitar smashed by Kurt Cobain has fetched £600,000.
Goodness gracious.
However, the one I wanted to, and considering we've got a couple of lit majors here, the novelist Martin Amis has died.
Yes,
Oh,
I
man, so
know
did
this
Barry
has
Humphries.
affected a lot of people. I have never read any of his work.
Because it's Kingsley Amis's son. You may have written something about. We don't talk about Barry Humphries, Brian. He was a transphobe. So he doesn't
Talk
get...
about Dame Edna
I didn't
Everett,
talk about him.
Nope.
Barry Humphries.
The man was a CUNT.
I did
Very,
not.
very funny one, but it was a CUNT.
It was funny.
He was Knut, I'm afraid.
I just figured they were, as much time as they spent in drag, they had something going on, but apparently not. Okay.
Apparently, no, he came right out and said, and it's a case of, you've no idea, every time somebody does this, for example, J.K. Rowling or Graham Linehan, or in this particular instance, Barry Humphries, it's like you've been shot in the gut and you go through mourning. Because someone whose work you've really enjoyed has suddenly come out and said no. I mean, I saw a video of one of your mad preachers in the States. Basically,
Oh yeah, they're always insane.
We have so many.
Parents of transgender children need to be shot in the back of the head and hung from a bridge.
Hey,
Now-
nobody should be shot.
Again,
Welcome to
should be
Gilead.
it's
Like,
like I
that
say,
just-
it's getting scarier and scarier. They suppressed the UN report into Britain's into the trans and LGBTQ how it's treated in public and with the government, and they've suppressed that report. It leaked, but they're basically saying we're in a terrible position like that because all the rhetoric and all the politicians are trying to make points about this. And we've got an election coming up within the next year or so. And we're going to become a very nasty political football. I also got accused of being a paedophile this week.
You got
Charming.
accused of that?
Yeah.
It's
Another
the
one of those
go-to
groomer
argument
assholes?
for small minds.
Oh my
Mainly
God.
because I'm trans. Somebody else asked me if I was a man or a woman, and I said I'm a woman, and bless him, he said, "Oh, beautiful." And I thought, now that's sweet, and I thanked him. But I'm terrified. It's very hard to explain to people who aren't in that position. You
can't explain to stupid people. They hear, groomer. We can call them groomers now, and that's all they can say. Then it's all you hear now from every Republican on the freaking planet about gay, lesbian,
There was a program,
or any
half
other
hour.
variation on the alphabet. They're groomers.
There was a half.
Well,
Shut the
my
fuck
favorite
up.
comeback for that is what is the definition of the typical school shooter? Cis, white, male, extreme,
Normally right wing.
Republican.
Yeah.
Not one of those words was drag, trans.
Well, you say
no.
that. You say that. I was trying to. They had a half-hour documentary on last night on Channel 4, going behind the scenes of the drag scene in one particular state, which is now it's going to be illegal to have drag acts.
There's a couple of states that have
don't think that
pushed
can
that
happen,
through.
yeah.
I'm
sure they've tried,
They're
but-
fighting, and they will win.
Yeah.
They will win the fight because it's unconstitutional.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this is the
it-
stupidest.
You say that.
It's
My
Look
stupid
how rigged
bullshit.
the Supreme Court is.
Well, yes, but it's still
that too, yeah.
blatantly,
It's still
clearly illegal. It's unconstitutional
Why do they think they can get away with it?
because they're going to
They
get away
don't
with it
care about
temporarily.
getting away with it. They're
Yeah.
only there for the now, for the headlines.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
They're
It's-
to
they're not
inflame
about the
their
long term. They're
viewers
about
and their-
scoring points on
and
the
their
libs, right?
little political.
And the
One at a time,
cruelty
please.
is
One at a time, please. Sorry.
cruelty is the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
It inflames the populace. It gets their name recognized.
It puts the lotion
and
on its
their,
skin.
their little, wannabe Hitler youth sons of
Oh my
bitches
God.
eat it up like fucking candy.
Did you see the video from Ireland with this guy with pink hair? I say guy, a kid at school. And he got mugged. He just got mobbed by a load of kids to beat the crap out of him. Because he was gay.
Why
Yep.
are we still doing this? I thought
Stupidest
we were
rule of the
better
day.
than this. I thought we were past this.
I honestly
No,
think...
I think what happens is we go through periods of where we get better than this, and then somehow, like fucking bell bottoms, the fucking fashion returns,
I think it's a
and
case
we
of...
get stupid again.
We
and
do,
then it
we
goes
do
back.
well, but people get bored with the same old stuff, And so they start to go for other stuff and become more extreme. And so as a result, we're constantly swinging from one end to the other. And at the moment, this country's certainly heading towards
Just don't
National
understand why
socialism.
it's so difficult
They're
to
not
just
able to pick common sense and stay with it.
respect other people. It's not hard. In fact, respecting other people is the path of least resistance 99.9% of the time.
Would you like to come and address our Houses of Parliament?
I would love to.
Can
I
I
would
bring a
love
baseball
to.
bat?
No, I would love to, but they have to all sit there and listen and not do anything else while I'm talking. And in fact, there's going to be a test afterwards that they have to pass to continue to be members of parliament.
There you go. I'd love to do that for Congress. That would be great.
Exactly. Congress, too. They got to sit, they got to all be attendance, they have to take notes, and they have to pass the test at the end.
Why can't we
Because if
clone
my
you?
kids have to pass a test to graduate, they have to pass a test to
Why
continue their
can't we
job.
clone you and share you out to various problem spots around the world to sort things out?
Because they don't want me to.
We'll have to have words.
Because I would make them behave themselves.
I would just.
Oh,
smack
don't
him
laugh,
with a baseball
Spanky.
bat.
If
I was-
I've been
I
on the
was
wrong
just
end a
like-
little bit, and you don't want to be there, trust me.
I went to parochial school. I'll just beat them.
Me
with a
too.
baseball
I spent
bat.
12 years in parochial
yeah.
school.
Smack.
Get your whoopings here, baby.
They didn't hit us by the time I was there, but they didn't have to.
They just had to threaten.
Sister
could beat
Ermita
us
just
as
had
much
to
as they
look
could.
at you.
I went to a Catholic private school. We had the strap, leather strap with a slither of metal through the middle of it, which was whacked on your hands. I nearly broke those things. I had it so much. That's
A teacher did once break a stick on a student's desk, which we found terrifyingly funny. She had this green
Yes!
like bamboo stick.
yeah.
It was a music teacher who we did not like. She may have been a wonderful person. She was a bad teacher.
Very true.
And
Yes.
she would hit the desk, not the kid, the desk, to get attention or when we were being too loud. And we were probably being brats because she was bad at teaching, and that's how that goes.
Mr. Bowen.
And one day her stick broke. And it was the funniest thing that had ever happened ever.
Yes, it was. Quite right, too.
We don't
This
do
is
that.
the
Just smack the stick on your desk.
This
Just
is
try
the
and scare
same
you.
teacher that I remember distinctly. We were in 5th grade. I don't know if I've told you guys this story before.
Oh, God. Sorry.
We were in 5th grade, and we used to go to music. So our entire class went to the music teacher, had class, and then came back to our 5th grade teacher. Right? So we came back, and our teacher was Miss Donovan, and she was soft-spoken, and she was very quiet. And she didn't have to raise her voice because we all loved Miss Donovan. And we came back from music and got a bad report from the music teacher for having been horrible little oiks. And
Was that the actual language used, I wonder?
I suspect not, no, but there was probably choice words used. And Miss Donovan told us that she was deeply disappointed in us, which was just soul crushing from Miss Donovan, you know.
I had a teacher
And
who
she
did
put
that to
up,
me.
she put up on the board, the board was in the front of the class, and she wrote a huge long sentence that, you know, we had to write and copy as many times as she told us to, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
And we were
very
put on
nice.
silence while we did it.
Yeah.
And so we're so diligently copying off the board and, you know, and upset because our lovely Miss Donovan yelled at us. And she's sitting at her desk doing whatever. Now, the principal walks in.
Yeah.
And the way the door opened, she could not see the board.
I've got you. Yeah.
It blocked the board. She could just see all the children diligently working at their desks. And so she looked like just around the door to Miss Donovan and said, "Oh, Miss Donovan, what a lovely, well-behaved class you have." Turned around and walked out. At which point, Miss Donovan got up and slowly erased the sentence off of the board.
Oh, bless her. I had a teacher who did that to me, a guy called Dufton, physics teacher. And fair dues, he took an interest, he tried to do whatever, and I really tried my best for him. I really did. And the end of the year report I got off him was dreadful. And I felt like I'd been betrayed. I'd really tried, you know.
Yeah.
He said, I can't see what we can do to keep their interest. And it's a case of that's because I've got ADHD, but I didn't find that out for another 40 years. So teachers can read. A good teacher can make a student. A bad teacher can break them.
And it takes at least 3 years to recover from a bad teacher.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would. Anyway, come on now. We've gone for nearly an hour bitching and whinging. I think we need to do what we came here for. I think we came here just to bitch and bitch.
Wasn't this it?
Yeah.
Al Jaffe, he died as well, and he should be noted because he's the guy that, in the back of Mad Magazine, invented the thing where you fold it up and it makes a different
yeah,
picture.
I used to love Mad Max. Mad and Cracked.
He
I
also
like
has
both of those.
He has the Guinness record for being the world's longest employed cartoonist as a cartoonist. He did it until 2020 when he was 100 years old. He died this year at 102.
Well, we salute him, quite frankly.
Yes.
And they still made him come.
I mean, look at it this way. You're from all over the country. I'm from a different country to you. And yet we all know him and we all know his work.
And we all know his work and love it, right? Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, wish me luck, it's Doctor Who. Good noise, that. I like that noise. Right, now. It's called the wind bubble, in case you were wondering. Yes, now. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Ah, dear. A certain first Doctor, the original, you might say, well, he's just said goodbye to Babs and Ian. He wasn't very happy about it, but they've left Mechanus, and he's alone with Vicky in the TARDIS. And, that's his plucky girl assistant, by the way, Vicky No Name. And there's a noise in the TARDIS. Oh, God, has a Dalek got into the TARDIS? No, it's Peter Purvis.
Surprise, Ian! Surprise, Stephen!
Even, yes. With his teddy bear, hi-fi. And Stephen's a little bit worse for wear, having to survive the jungles of Mechanus and the fungoids and or garbage cones or whatever the hell they call them. And Stephen is, how do we put this for his character? He questions. He questions a lot, and in this particular instance, he's questioning the sanity of what the hell they're telling him. Space and time, what? And
Dubious Stephen.
yeah. So they land on the Northumbria coast. And Stephen slowly...
1066.
Well, we think it's 1066. But remember, the Doctor is not a mountain goat and he prefers walking to any day and he hates climbing. I charge for saying that in Bill's voice. And... got something to tell you. Please remind me to tell you something, yeah? At the end of this segment.
Please tell us something at the end.
At the end of the segment, right?
Cheers, dude.
No problem.
That's great. He's
I have one job on this ship.
That's it.
It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
My favorite movie.
I gotta be honest with you. We could possibly do a live reaction to that commentary.
I would love to.
Oh, it would just evolve into all of us just saying the line.
That's the problem
what
with
any
quite a
movie
lot of these
devolves
things. It's a case of we're just going to say the lines. I mean, we
Did you see the airplane one we did?
Now we did it for Retta because Retta had never seen them before, and she was deliberately not laughing at us because we told her that it was funny, it was hilarious, and she said, "I'll be the judge of that," and then sat there stony faced.
I swear, I think her mic was on mute the entire time. I don't buy it.
No, neither do I. Anyway,
she's Trixie.
That's my dog, love. Anyway, Stephen's not convinced about the whole time travel thing, and when he finds a watch, a wristwatch, he goes to the Doctor. 1066, you say, or whatever it is. In the meantime, you've got some Saxons, not Harold Saxons, just Saxons, in a little village.
I didn't vote for him.
So we all voted for Saxon.
I didn't vote for Saxon. I couldn't.
Oh, that's true. No, you couldn't, could you? Mm-hmm. So he killed your president. Actually, presidents and prime ministers in modern Doctor Who do not have
They
a
don't
very
fare
long
well.
time. No.
No.
They keep killing them off. Right. So, and then the Doctor's sitting in the Stephen and Vicky are having a little look around and whatever, and the Doctor's sitting in the Saxon camp having a horn of mead. And there's this beautiful chanting from the monks at the monastery. It's lovely. And then it slows down like a record. And starts up again. And immediately Doctor is... Oh, what's all this? And turns out, and this is the first of two surprises in this particular story, it's another one of the Doctor's people. Who's dressed as a monk and ends up being lumbered with the name the Middling Monk. And that's just one of the wonderful things I like about what they've done with them in Big Finish. Every single story is just, I am not a monk! It's,
You wear the costume one time.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, you got the your friend gave you the nickname. You are now stuck with it forever. That's how this works.
Yeah, it's the law.
You don't get to choose your own nickname.
No, the Doctor chooses these things. And it is...
Who chose him to be the Doctor, then?
He's up to his usual plans. I'm not going to go into them because I reckon the boys and girls here will. But it is wonderful to see Bill, opposite an actor he respects, playing comedy, because Hartnell loved comedy. And he's really got the comedy chops. Just have to look at the Romans for that. And it's blissful watching the two. Even though Bill goes on holiday for a week, it is blissful watching the two of them. The second shock, which is probably even bigger, is Stephen and Vicky find a cable at the bottom of the monastery, and they follow it to a tomb. Tomb?
Sarcophagus.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Brian.
sarcophagus.
Yes. And okay, let's have a little look. There's a hole here. Let's open it up.
Is a really traditional altar.
The monk's got a TARDIS.
It was huge.
Now,
A Type 40?
No, it's not a Type 40.
That's what it said.
No, it's not. The monk's from about 50 years relative time further on than the Doctor, so his model is newer. And plus, anyway, Type 40 hadn't been invented back then. I don't mean...
I just thought he said, you can't mess with my Type 40 or something, right?
No. Sorry. The Type 40 wasn't introduced till the 70s, I'm afraid. Anyway,
I'll give you that one.
Thank you very much. Just as well, really. So, if you put yourself in the context of watching it as a viewer for the first time in 1965, that's essentially the noise you would have made. Can you imagine the sheer shock of a revelation like that? We knew nothing about the Doctor. We knew he'd fled his planet and he had a ship that he couldn't control, but that was it. The only other one of his people we've seen was Susan. And she buggered off soon enough after twisting her ankle. It is forbidden to dump used granddaughters into the river. And this must have been a major shock to a regular viewing audience. Talk about a twist. So, who wants to go first? Brian.
Sure.
Well, no one was coming
yeah.
forward, so...
Yeah, this was... it's the first real other Gallifreyan Time Lord that we see.
No, it isn't. Because
Not including Susan.
Gallifrey hadn't been invented then.
Okay, yes.
Another
It
one
hadn't
from the
been
Doctor's
invented.
home planet.
Yeah,
Of
it
his
was
people.
home planet.
Get it right.
And
Don't make yourself unworthy. Even more unworthy.
do I have to go get my T-shirt?
I
live
think
for
it just
unworthiness.
it just glows off you, if I'm honest with you.
I live for unworthiness. if unworthiness was a real attribute, if unworthiness was an attribute to pick up Thor's hammer, I could do it.
Damn Skippy.
That's Thor with 2 R's.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the fact, and the doctor's all chumming with him.
Yeah,
He's having a ball. It's like, oh, somebody from home.
exactly.
We speak the same lingo.
And it's not just
we
someone
speak the
from
same
home.
dialect of geek.
It's not just somebody from home. It's also, he's not out to get me. He's not out to return me home. He's not
He's
out
out
to
to
take
blow
the
up a
TARDIS
bunch
away.
of fucking Vikings.
Instead,
Yeah, okay,
with
let's.
atomic bazookas.
Right.
Sure.
And I love
Sure,
the fact that
whatever.
Monk has his plan, which is ticking off.
Yes,
each
he has a
section.
to-do list because, like most of these Time Lords, he has massive ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs a to-do list to keep him on track.
Well,
Just
he
a
needs a
wonderful
plan
piece of
for
silliness.
Earth because it's a planet. That's why they named it Planet. What?
Oh, I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. That's all.
Oh, okay. And he thinks
Sorry,
Harold
I know
would
it
be
doesn't
a great
happen very
king,
often.
and in 3 years they'll have airplanes and stuff if he plays his cards right.
He's a meddler. He's
Wow.
not after power.
No,
He'd rather have a bit
he's
of
out
money
to make
and
things
something pretty.
better, faster, end the Dark Ages before,
There
just
you
as
go.
they get started.
Hmm.
I loved it. I
that's
also love the fact that the Doctor kind of sabotaged his the other TARDIS
Cleverly.
hard,
Very cleverly.
stranding someone in
sabotaged the shit out of it.
1066.
Yeah, right before the real Vikings roll up,
Yeah, that's just
it's not going to end
That's
well for someone
bad.
living in a monastery.
Just wait till Henry comes along.
just that will not end well for that monk unless he gets that thing going again. The one thing I didn't like was he didn't steal any parts he needed for his TARDIS from the new TARDIS.
Yeah.
Well,
he should
first
have
of
done
all,
that. I thought the same.
First
I
of
would
all,
have totally ripped off a lot of stuff.
the problem with that is they're different models. The Doctor's ship is far older.
Oh, he can make it
I mean,
work.
it
He's
was
the
obsolete when the
Doctor.
Doctor nicked it.
Yeah, but he can make it work.
and it's a
He's
whole
the
different
Doctor.
system. No. Oh, do you mean the Doctor didn't? I thought you meant the monk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Doctor didn't go in and say, "Oh, hey, new communion circuit. Oh, look, dematerialization circuit. I need this. I need
That
this."
is
Well,
answered.
he would have his own shopping list.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
I need to ask something here before we carry on with this conversation. Do you want to do an audio of a missing story in 2 parts over 2 weeks? It comes with narration. It's the Dalek
I don't
Master
mind doing a
Plan.
missing story.
Peter Purvis narrating it, and 3 of the episodes still exist. Would you be interested in that, yes or no? Because I do appreciate it's a different sort of experience, and so I'm not
Is
pushing
it
it on you.
web download or you download?
I'm not sure. We'd need to look.
No, I mean, do you have it or
Have you
is
got
it
Audible?
online? No.
A little bit.
I do, but actually, I'm not here next week, and then I'm over there. So I
Let's not
probably
do
shouldn't
this,
be a
then.
decision maker on this.
Also, it'll give me time to try and sort out.
Siobhan,
Get
you
it
need to
sorted
go to
and
the
then
sporting
bring it
goods
closer.
store and get a baseball bat. List for later.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know what to
Definitely.
do.
Listen here, y'all.
The good thing is, the people we're meeting up on June the 10th are actually very nice people, so she doesn't have to worry.
No,
Oh, no,
no,
I'm
they're.
talking
I'm the
cafe.
worst out of a lot of them, quite frankly.
I'm thinking cafe.
Oh, the cafe?
Oh.
No, we should be all right. Plus, the general public around there would stand up for me anyway.
Yes.
Are you
Also-
enjoying yourself?
Yes.
Loving it.
I do have accidental teacher look.
Do you have accidental teacher? Look, like
Accidental teacher
accidental
look.
resting
You
face,
have
that sort of
resting
thing.
teacher look?
Well, after 20 years, yeah. But years and years and years ago, we were in an FYE, And
Oh,
we
that's
were just
going back.
going back a bit, right? Just browsing. And there were a couple of kids down at the end fooling around. And you know, F this, F that, F the other thing. They were just talking to each other. I didn't care. They were just kids being kids. And I just looked at them. That's all I did. I looked at them. And I didn't even mean anything by it. I was just like, who's making noise? Kids are making noise. That's fine, right? And all I heard afterwards was, we're sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're sorry.
I had something similar this week. Not a look. There were two kids suddenly started fighting, and I mean kids. And I bellowed at them. And people don't hear anything like that off me. Full-blooded shout. They stopped.
I try really hard not to parent other people's children when they're not directly in my purview.
Difficult, isn't it?
But I have been known to say something like, y'all know how to behave.
Actually, I found out something you can do. We're having some trouble up at the shops. At the local cafe, outside the local cafe, there's about 3 or 4 mothers who have decided to start gathering around about the time I go there, and they bring their beautiful little cherubs with them.
Yes.
Then
Oh,
they
God.
totally ignore the cherubs, who run off everywhere, and they are screaming their heads off. And I'm at the point of saying something. The trouble is, I don't want to cause an argument. I spoke to the cafe owner, and he said, look, I can do something about it when they're in the cafe, but they're sat outside. I can't.
Yeah.
Which is, fair. So, I mean, what's it? Phil, one of my mates, was sat inside the cafe and this kid nearly spilt his coffee twice over. And it's a case of, what the hell's going on here? They've pay no attention to the kids at all. They're just running wild.
I know exactly what you're saying, because little known fact, back in the 90s,
think
I
remember
worked
that.
at the arcade at the mall.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, do you actually have any hearing left?
Really?
We kept the
A
noise
lot's
down,
being explained here.
but it was right off a food court. So the mothers would come in and sit in food court and let their darling, precious little bastards run around the arcade and cause trouble. And when we started kicking the kids out, they'd come up, "Wah, wah, wah. I'm not your babysitter. If you want them in here, you have to be in here with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't care."
There's 2 or 3
and then
people
one
getting
went,
fed up with
well,
this.
it was so bad, we had the mall cops come, and they came with the police to remove a kid out. And the mall cops went up to the mother and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you know where your child is?" "Yes, she's in the arcade." "Are you sure of that?" "She's outside. She's up a ways with the cop, and they're staring at the mother saying she's in the arcade." "Kid ain't in the arcade."
Mhm.
And then they're like, "Well, why didn't you watch them?" "I'm not responsible for them.
No.
I don't care about
at
your
all.
little bastards."
Not at all.
That's right.
Unsupervised children will be given cappuccino and a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't say that.
No, not the puppy.
Last night, look, in this RPG scenario, all right, I'm not allowed to take corpses' fingers
It wasn't a
for a
puppy.
necklace, all right? Hello, Robot, a really lovely robot that we met. I wanted to take home as a friend, because I am only 3. No, not allowed to do that. And the
He
next
has
thing,
his own agenda.
Jess goes, oh, it's a puppy. A puppy, you say?
She misidentified the track.
And,
I told you what it was.
yeah, I know, but the thing is, in character,
Yeah.
I wanted a puppy. And even they wouldn't let me have a puppy.
It was a five-toed print in the ground.
It was a cat with an eye in its tail.
As the population of cats gets smaller, they tend to interbreed.
Yeah.
And in interbreeding, they get more toes.
Hence the Hemingway cats.
Yeah, and this is why I had 5 toads. It was also, the size of
Yeah,
my
but
hand.
now I've been
so-
promised it. I'm going to keep nagging Jess for a puppy.
Okay. We'll see how this works.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be painful, frankly. Right. I'm so sorry. A little bit. Do you want to... sorry, Brian, have you finished?
Oh yeah, go
Are
ahead.
you sure?
Yeah, I love this. Thumbs
Ah,
up.
Perfect. A little bit, please.
I did enjoy this, and I did enjoy the lightheartedness between the Doctor and the monk, but there were some really dark scenes.
I was going to come
Particularly
to that.
the
Yes.
attack on Edith.
Yeah. It is implied she's raped.
Yes. And she's catatonic afterwards. And then even when she can talk, the Doctor comes over and she's holding something to her face and clearly in pain, and he's just having a chat, oblivious to all of it. Which, to be fair, the Doctor's fairly oblivious to pretty much everything that
Later
anybody else is going
incarnations
through.
might
We've
be a bit
previously
better.
established that the first Doctor is a bastard. So yes.
But it is like
I love you for that.
her reaction after this attack. You don't see it. You see them jump down on her. She's in like the barn or whatever. They come off the hayloft, and so you see them jump down. But that's no worse than any kind of other violence we see within the show. You know, them pretending to fight and whatever is fine. It's actually the reaction of her as the actress afterwards, and everybody else's reaction to it that gets across to you how bad this has been.
Yep.
And what has happened. And that actress does such a powerful job of conveying that. I guess it would probably, I thought she was dead when they first run over to her.
Well, you think
And
so,
then when I
wouldn't you?
realized she wasn't, that was worse.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah. She's stopped. Have you noticed? Oh, there
It's
she
a
is.
very powerful moment.
I've got to admit, your internet cut out for a second at just the right moment. And it has again.
Is my internet being wacky?
It's being
Little bit.
wacky. You've caught my disease.
Smack the router.
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 Who's
Probably.
the IT tech?
Who gave you your language?
Yes. For those of you who speak English,
It's router.
You think-
Auntie means router. For those of you who speak
Router?
British, yes, you're router.
Well, I'm taking
router,
the piss
router,
out of
router.
David Nagel at the moment. He's saying, this fall. And I turned around to him and said, do you mean autumn? And it's like, oh, hang on, is that me now? No, because Brian went all fuzzy there. Hang on a second, let me look. No, mine's okay. Lilibet's having definite problems, though. Sorry, Lilibet, you're having the same thing that happens to me, apparently. This is what happens when you slag off Virgin. It's not your fault. There's nothing you can do, my love. At least I expect not. Except you can't hear me now, can you? Not bunnies. Ah, dear.
It's okay. She's going to go offline for a minute and she'll be back.
Yeah. Spanky, do you want to talk about the time meddler?
Okay. It was great, and it was funny for a number of different reasons, not the least of which was probably the worst choreographed sword fight ever. That was just apocalyptically bad. But yeah, the interplay between the Doctor and the other
The monk, love.
person of his species, because they weren't Gallifreyans yet, and I think it was 4 more years before they coined the term Time Lords. I thought this
Well
was
done.
interesting that they had done this in this way, because this episode came out in 64 and 65, or this came out in 65 and 66 the next year. I guess was for the Brits the 900th anniversary of the Battle of Hastings. So okay, so they
I'd
had
never
to,
thought that. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'll be alive
So
in
they have that going on.
2066.
Right, and this is just at that time because it is late summer, and it was October, I think, when the Battle of Hastings was, when William the Bastard gets to call himself William the Conqueror forever afterwards, since he
History
probably
on
is
the
tired of
flashing
being
blade.
called William the Bastard.
If I do manage to make it to 2066, I'm going to get a care home staff to take me outside, hold me up and raise one of my arms for me, so I can say, "Take that, you English bastards!"
I'll be 93.
I will be 99. Cough.
In 40 years? 2066?
66. I'd be 99.
43 years.
Yeah, 99.
67. I'd be 100. Yeah.
99.
All right.
I was born.
No,
in
no.
I was born in 67.
Yeah, 92 or something. Something like that.
Shall we not do maths? It's Sunday.
I don't want. No, don't
Yeah,
set.
it should be a
no.
day off of math.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. Why are you making me do math?
I'm not! You
What
suddenly
else? I
chose to
also
start
thought
spouting numbers
that
and it's maths.
it was
Um,
the best way to sabotage a TARDIS ever. That
All
was
I'm going to
just
say is,
awesomely
Brian, the thing
creative.
about him not taking stuff from the Monk's TARDIS does get addressed later.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Like-
speaking of slightly adjacent topic,
That's right, my love. It's
Do
the
we
Flashing
have-
Blade.
do we have the dates for the specials?
Not yet, no.
No.
Mm.
Beep the meep. I remember this. I remember the comic strip back in 1979, 1980. Ah, the Starbeast comic strip. Beep the meep. Meep meep. Most high.
I just hope they aren't, like half hour.
They're hour long.
Oh, thank God.
They got 3 hour-long specials and then a Christmas special. Apparently, we're hoping, and we're hoping it'll be on Christmas Day, and that'll
That's
be
probably
Shooty's-
going to be the regeneration into
No, it's going to be Shooty's first story.
Christmas.
Yeah. The 3 specials will say goodbye to.
Can
Tennant
he
again.
not have a fight in hand? I'm just saying.
All I know is he's got a bloody fashion head on him. If you've seen some of the bloody pictures he's wearing,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think this is unnatural for the Doctor.
Things went blank.
I saw some tweets by him, too. He's a pretty good guy.
He is. He's got the cool with him, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
that's good. So I'm trying to work out a way of structuring the show so that A, people don't feel left out too much because not everybody's seen everything, and B, not having Lilibet throws a spanner in the works. I know she'll be back, but
Well, let's do Callan.
yeah, let's. Are you up for
Because
that,
I know
Spanks?
she hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah.
And I know I haven't done anything. with
Okay,
it.
so we're big finish to come. Hopefully. So Callan, we are into the last 3 episodes of Callan. This is the Richmond Files, Part 1.
The Richmond arc. Yep.
Now then, at the start of Series 4 of Callan, Callan had been captured by the KGB and was being tortured and whatever, and the Brits arrange for a swap, which went on quite a bit.
Be right back.
So I'm
And you're
reviewing
on
this
your
on my own.
And you're on your own.
Brian, it's just you and me again. God, this is like old times.
Oh.
Beard's a little grayer, but what the hell? It's Ichiban!
See.
Ichi!
Hey, I've earned every single gray.
Here you go.
Anyway, and so he gets swapped for this guy called Richmond, who's a bit high up in the KGB and whatever. He's a colonel. This episode starts out. Richmond's in the back of the section's taxi cab, driven by Lonely, of course. Lonely
like that.
desperately wanting to go for a pee, but not being allowed to. And you're trying to wonder, okay, what's this guy doing here? Callan's in the back with him. Richmond turned up at the airport and went straight to a policeman and handed himself over. And so everyone's very wary of this. However, there are wheels within wheels in this particular episode.
Many wheels within wheels.
Callan takes him to a beautiful old house. And it's just the 2 of them there. And Callan is going to start debriefing Richmond. Except Richmond knows how to get under Callan's skin. And he does so very well. However, Callan can come back with answers. And Richmond turns around and says there's a traitor in the section. And it's wheedled out of him that it's Toby Mears. Then a shock gets fired through the window at Richmond. And it's a case of what the fuck. And then Toby turns up. Callan goes, what the hell are you doing here? And he says, Charlie sent me to, just to keep an eye out. I'll be around. And he just wanders through the house, leaving Callan and Richmond alone. Callan apparently now not being 100% certain of Toby's loyalty. again, the conversation, it's almost a two-hander. The conversation, though hopefully, Travis was in it, by the way, Brian.
Okay.
The word.
The word.
The word. Criminals! We've got no life. And then basically towards the end, Richmond, who, like we say, is he's holding back information because he knows that that's his currency, if you like. But he knocks Callan out, takes the gun, and does a runner.
Really?
Yep. However, the section we're expecting it. The whole point was to play his little game, let him escape, and then see what he was really out here to do.
Those tricky bastards.
Spies, love. Spies. What can I say?
Spies.
This was an excellent story. It may seem a little slow, but it's about the characters. Callan and Richmond. Richmond is essentially supposed to be, if you like, a mirror of Callan. And a blue box has just appeared.
He's his opposite number.
Though Callan
They are
would have been
mirrors of each
major.
other.
Come on a little bit. You can do this.
It's
You can do
bigger
this.
on the inside.
That's no way to talk about a presenter.
Here we are.
Hey,
There
what
we
was it?
go.
Did you just reset
I
the
reset the
router?
router.
Router.
There you go.
Router.
Oh no,
Router.
routons. Those are the things that chase you down the stairs in lighthouses.
Router. What
Router.
the hell are my neighbours
Router.
making of this?
A rooter is something on the end of a pig. A rooter. Okay?
That's
Or the
snout.
thing you root around in the toilet with to clean it out if it's stuck.
It's the roto rooter.
Roto rooter, right. There you
Don't
go.
get me
That's a
started
rooter.
on boys and buoys. Seriously, don't. I was hearing it come out of Patrick Stewart's mouth. It's just so wrong. Anyway, and so again, first part. We're now
First part.
got to wait and see what
But
Richmond
even
is actually
though
up to.
it's only the first part, they have already laid serious groundwork
They have.
and done a whole lot of very serious storyline development.
Yes,
A ton of it.
Richmond, like I
And
say,
it's
knows Callan's
maybe-
weaknesses.
Well, not just that, but you have to wonder how much is Callan playing along with and how much is Toby playing along with, because you hear later when Bishop runs in, I'm not going to let you kill Callan, right? You thought Bishop, we're led to believe, hates Callan, number one, and wanted him fired, but
He's the best man.
that was just a passing moment because Callan is the best they have, right? So he's too valuable to waste, number one. And is higher in Bishop's estimations than we're led to believe, but also Hunter is ahead of the curve on this because Bishop's a little bit left in the dark because he told Mears to leave the pen on Richmond
It was a pen with a hypodermic evil acid
with a needle
shit.
in it
Yeah.
and a poison.
A
Exactly
dead
right.
pen.
An assassin's pen to, poke people and you die. And,
Stabby,
and
stab,
so,
stab, stab.
exactly. And that's where you get, they just peel like 7 layers off the onion and the onion's still like this big.
Yep.
And so you're going, damn, that's a lot of onion. What the hell? I'm sorry. I've just been assaulted.
Ichiban! You can't hear
Ichiban,
me, but I
here you go.
do
You're gonna
love
say-
him
gonna
to
roast your-
bits.
Ju-
Look at that dog.
Smile for your public, buddy. There we go. He's like, no, I'm
He's
going to be
gonna
Pete
have-
Best.
No, he's got a
and
happy
just turn
face.
my back to the audience,
We
right?
saw his
Yeah.
muzzle. He's got a happy face.
Oh no, he's happy faced because I'm scratching his ear, and I just gave him all his little treats, the little bone marrow things, the breath mint, which is he desperate, needed that, and of course he had a Slim Jim, so he's like, oh yeah, Dad's the best. Dad, we love Dad. Now scratch my ears, and it'll be all that. Okay, there we go. That's it. And now I'm gonna have to open the door for him so he can run back out because he just wanted to come in and get, treats. It was treat time, belly o'clock, basically, and that's where we're at. Yeah, dude, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I was
One
going to say,
second.
go let him out, because
Oh my God.
I don't have too much more to say about Callan, simply that it was very
Yeah,
good
no,
and
that
wonderful
but
character
remember all
piece.
that because next week when we talk about the second part, oh my God, the explosion of onion. Okay, be right back.
So,
All right.
you've got that to look forward to, an exploding onion next week.
Yes.
More exploding onions. I mean, hey.
Let's go.
I know, right?
Caught my squirrels. Really? You had to do that to the rug?
The problem is I'm exactly the same.
All right, there we go.
I am. It's
I have my dog asleep on my
What
foot.
an
So.
annoying
he can't
boy.
do much else. Face facts.
He can do a lot.
All over me
Well, he
too.
can shit
Damn.
all over the floor.
Damn.
He can shit on the floor. He can piss on the floor. He can roam around aimlessly. He has the nose that sees.
Yes, we mentioned
There it
this
is.
last night, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Remarkable.
It's kind
nose,
of
your
like
dog.
Matt Murdock.
You know,
Yes.
he is Daredevil in dog
Yep.
form. That's it, right?
Dog devil.
Except it's just the nose.
They
Dog
took
devil.
his eyes
That's it,
from
dog
him,
devil.
and now he sees everything.
hmm
He is
So-
an elusive canine
Took his
predator.
eyes, took his ears. They took everything. All he's got is a nose, and his nose sees all. Right?
Starting to sound Shakespearean. Sounds eyes.
He'll smell
sounds
your heartbeat.
teeth.
hmm
Right. We enjoyed this, didn't we, Ms. Banks?
Immensely.
I don't want to go into too much depth with it because it's such a character piece. It needs to be seen. I felt
That's
very
all-
sorry for
Callan
Lonely.
Is the whole part of it. Callan is the whole work is character driven.
Hmm.
This is driven. It is such excellent writing. It is so driven by the characters and by the dialogue, more than the action, even which you would expect in a series like this, which is about spies and killing people and all that. But it is so much more about their interplay and the way that the story is revealed and the tiny bits of foreshadowing you're given and stuff like that, that these little tools of the writer that these guys employ so well.
I would like to say it's nothing. Whilst this particular the story is out of the ordinary and everything else like that, these things that the guy Richmond's poking him with, it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's just he's
Right.
doing it with a hell of a lot more elegance.
Well,
Like
you
a
know,
surgeon.
and also coming from a man like Richmond, who is basically Callan's opposite, right? That's, how much taunting can you take from someone who's wearing the same boots and shoes as, pants and everything else as you are, right? They're in the same boat, the same everything.
That's the problem with Callan. He can keep it very cool, but when he can lose his temper.
He does lose his temper. That's one thing. That's the difference between him and Richmond, right?
Ice cold. Quite
Richmond's more the Iceman, and Callan's a little more fire, but they're the same guy basically, the same job, the same skill set, all that, and they can both play. They can both play the spy game very well. Just Callan hates to and does his best not to. But when he needs to, you see him a bunch of times. He pulls some clever shit out of his ass and just totally confounds the opposition because they don't expect it from him, because he usually doesn't reach into that bag of tricks. So when he does it, it's even worse for them because they never see it coming.
Right. We're leaving Callan there for the moment. We've got two more things
Right.
to discuss.
Everyone should watch Callan. It's so fucking
Right.
good.
Brian, did you get a chance to listen to Torchwood?
No.
Spanky, did you listen to Torchwood?
I managed to listen to the first one.
that's
I did
something.
not make it to Colin Speaks or Colin Awakes or whatever. I really wanted to do the Colin one. But
No. Shut up,
I
Brian.
came through all the first one, and I got about halfway through Colin Alone, and it was giving me such anxiety I couldn't listen to any more
there
of
you
that.
go.
Okay, first things first, I'm very disappointed with you because I gave you all the choice last week. Ninth Doctor Adventures or Mr. and Mrs. Penis Enlargement.
Yeah, but they're in the first one.
The penis enhancement was in the first one, so we heard penis
We're back to
enhancement.
that
Stop.
Okay.
They
You just
just
say it like
forgot.
I will fucking kill you. I hate that imaginary kid. Right.
know what you're talking about.
Lilibet, do you want to
I
take
am
off?
the alpha and the omega.
One of the best NPCs in any game
hate you
ever.
so much.
My Padawan.
Right.
Oh,
I am
you
going
gotta
to make
love
a
that.
cup of hot chocolate because I'm having to deal with these two. Lilibet, would you like to talk some sense about what you did hear about Torchwood, please? Please excuse me.
Well, we both heard the first story,
Mm-hmm.
which I really enjoyed. I mean, it was very dark, the last half of it. But the idea of these two aliens observing this human cul-de-sac, we all like a bit of gossip, right? We all like
Gossip
kind
on
of
the
knowing
Twilight
what our
Zone
neighbors are
reference, too.
doing, and, it's the fun thing that even when you're a little kid of kind of spying on people, and they're not doing anything, they're just being themselves, but
Mhm.
them looking, and we don't know why, and they don't even really know why, until it's gradually revealed that there's a specific reason they're here, and there's a specific reason this neighborhood and this particular group of people are together in this circumstance, and that it's all essentially an experiment in creating an explosive situation.
Okay.
So these are people who've been relocated because of flooding. And they've been relocated into this cul-de-sac that's right next to a highway that was previously army land, which was then disused because it was making the soldiers really cranky because it has air pollution and noise pollution and all of this. So they've built this little neighborhood here that isn't on most of the maps yet. These people have sort of been here through, it's implied like through COVID, because they talk about, oh, we got through the last few years together, you know. And
Was also from a flood in another episode, right? That these people were forced to move here. They were displaced by the flood. So yeah,
right, and they've been
That
placed
plays
here
into it.
by, you know, sort of, they think like the council. It's a council estate.
Mhm.
But one of the people here is essentially a refugee. And we realize he becomes the center of this target of a campaign of abuse that the aliens almost accidentally, they don't start, but they sort of accidentally verify feelings that people already kind of had of he's the other and he doesn't belong, except the way they verified it was by somebody saying something, and they're like, no, that's not true. That's not why we're here. That we don't have anything to do with that. And they're like, word to the wise.
he becomes Les Goodman, right? Basically from that Twilight
Yeah,
Zone episode.
it's
Yeah.
and I listened to the whole thing, the whole background on it. The interviews were really good. But it's Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
Totally, it is
The first
exactly
season
that.
of Twilight Zone.
They even almost mention that in the after credits when they're talking about that stuff. They don't come out and say it, but they do mention the monsters on some street or something. And
They
like,
talk,
they don't
there's a
come
lot
out and
of
say
talk
Twilight
about
Zone,
we're
yeah.
the monsters, who are the monsters,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they never actually,
yeah.
I expected them to come out and say, like, I got inspiration from, or there was this
think,
great
yeah.
episode, or...
I bet somebody said, y'all drew that from the Twilight Zone, right? And they went, shut up, don't say that. You know, I bet that's what happened. They got shushed. Oh, you can't say that. So they had to dance around it like
It was
they
in
did.
our 7th grade textbook. I used to teach The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Because the play was in our
A
textbook.
surprising number of venues.
It's because it's great, because it's about paranoia, and I mean the original one really is about the Red Scare.
Well, yeah,
But-
exactly. The afterword says it all, right? Where they're talking about, you know, real attrition from war or these kinds of things isn't from bombs or shrapnel or anything. It's this stuff that happens in people's minds, right? That distrust, the fear, the antagonism, all of that.
other.
That's the worst part, right? That we bring into this, you know, and I thought that was one of the best part. The closing narration, what is it he says? It's not from bombs, explosions, and fallout. It's prejudices, which is, you know, at the heart of it, which is what it was, right? I think that's probably why they beat us over the head in the Big Finish with the bigot character.
Yes.
That woman so much, right?
Yes,
But
and that
even the idea of
character
prejudice.
Betty is really interesting because she could be, I mean, when she's first introduced and they're in her spare room and you're like, oh, she's kind of a busybody. She's kind of the neighborhood busybody, but she's harmless. And then you realize she makes comments and she's not so harmless.
Not
And there's
harmless, right.
comments about immigrants and what they used to do to people and how, you know, it plausible deniability, basically. Like, kids will be kids. But then when it happens to a cat in front of her, she's like, oh my God, I have to go stop that. And she goes out of her way and to try and rescue the cat. And then there's several times where she doesn't recognize when it's happening to somebody else as a problem, but then when it happens to her or it happens to something she sees as an innocent, she sees it as a problem. And the overlay here is that there is some shady organization that is deliberately targeting this guy specifically, and they've set up this situation to kill him in a way that...
This is a character, right, not to get too far away, but this is a character we've seen on Big Finish before. And to not to go too far back, but it's the one we did a little while back about the alien that lived in the color red.
Oh, uh-huh. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
The cat lady, right? With the shop,
she was
paints
kind
the
of
cars
lady.
red and all that. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. It's they're kind of a cardboard cutout, I've noticed, for Big Finish, but that doesn't diminish their effectiveness as characters. But it is a tool they're a little sometimes heavy-handed with, I think. But
they are sometimes a little heavy-handed. And then there was
a little heavy-handed, but
there was this other element there of there's somebody who's tracking down the Torchwood people, and they were hiding in her house. They were given this assignment by a temp agency, so they've been being guided into this by some collection of alphabet letters kind of thing. And there's a voice on a phone that's a little kid's voice that's saying, I'm your friend, in a horrible, creepy way.
The creepy kid voice, yeah.
And that
and
kind
Captain
of...
Jack is missing, and there were a lot of tropes
You'll
like that.
You'll never see Captain Jack
we're
back,
used to.
I'm afraid.
Well, they've all been split up. And they're all basically on the run and hiding in different ways. And we see that fall out into the second one. And the second one, I think, is one of those that is incredibly effectively well written. And that's what made it gave me such...
Okay, that's good.
Give you the
sort of.
Got it, yeah.
Well...
It did what it set out to achieve. For the
yes,
of it.
Which is that basically... one of the Torchwood people has disappeared. I don't remember Van something.
There's a load of new ones.
One of the new guys has disappeared,
I don't know.
And his husband is left behind. And he's at a newish job at like a food bank. The apartment is there's leaks in the apartment that he calls the council to get fixed, and they don't have a record that he paid the fee, and it's under his husband's name, and they keep saying, it's the privacy thing, that nobody can do anything. He keeps being interrogated over and over by these vaguely government people who have, records of all his stuff and act really cooperative but are totally uncooperative. And they keep making him late for work, and the paperwork, his safeguarding paperwork for work has never come through. So he can't, his logins don't work, and then his bank login doesn't work, and then his phone gets stolen. It's this series of things that by themselves are ordinary, everyday inconveniences in our modern, I can't get anybody on the phone to solve this problem kind of world.
Well, what happened earlier, yeah.
Exactly. But taken all together, along with the fact that they keep showing him pictures and footage they're like, is this your husband? And footage of him shooting people or things like that. And they're like, well, that he's hanging out with these people and he's doing these things. And he's like, I don't know anything. And he does several times make phone calls to his husband's voicemail and just say, look, this is what's going on with me. I know you're not going to get this, but this is what's going on. And it was just kind of all piling up. And I only got halfway through because at that point I was like, this is just giving me too much anxiety and I can't listen to it anymore.
I get it. No, when
So
things
I don't
like
know
that
how it
pile
turned
up
out.
on you, right? Anyone is a stumbling stone, but when you get 3 or 4 or more, all of a sudden it's a wall across the road,
Yes.
I get it, yeah.
Yes, and you get the impression that there's some shadowy something behind this doing this to him to try and push him to the breaking point to where he'll say, yes, I know everything. I can, but I don't know how it turns out because I didn't hear the end.
It's made me want to listen to it, just hearing you two talk
Yeah.
about these things. One question.
I will totally be listening
Well,
to
it
them.
is
I
well
try and listen
written,
to
but
them
just
all,
kind
yeah.
of be aware that you may have to do lowering anxiety activities.
I do have a question. Why are they called Mr. and Mrs. Penis Implant?
Oh, okay. So what happened was actually because the two.
Ow!
You okay there?
Penis
Cat.
implant and Mrs. Not Penis Implant. Yeah.
Yeah, because the two Torchwood agents, whose name's Aang and something,
Not Mr. Colchester.
no, are watching, and they have nicknames for different people on the block, and he's one who has a history of domestic violence, and his wife left him, and he's gotten, or at least they think he's gotten, a penis implant. And drives his car to the motorway with, hands free, as it were.
I can see where that's coming from, yeah.
And so the girlfriend who lives with him and eventually walks out on him because he's a jerk is not Mrs.
Not
Because
Mrs.
somebody
Penis
says,
Implant,
oh, well, that's Mrs. And they're like, no, she's not Mrs.
Mrs.
Okay.
Penis Implant. Right? Mrs. Penis
That's
Implant
why.
left.
I can do that with my car.
Well, yes, but you have an electric car, don't you?
Don't get it with just about with ice cars, but ice cars are crap. Did you enjoy what you heard of it, both of you?
I think the first one I did enjoy. It is a little heavy-handed, and it is a little hard to listen to at the end because there's some voices that sound kind of similar.
Okay.
And so I was having a hard time keeping two characters apart, and it was important to keep those two characters apart.
That's feedback to Big Finish, that is. Important.
And
feedback.
I it was hard to tell, oh, wait, who's doing what now? But I enjoyed the story, and it did make me think about the Twilight Zone episode, which if you have not seen, go and find.
No, I want to watch the Twilight. I want to watch all of the Twilight Zone, but it's expensive, so that's probably not going to happen.
I suspect you can probably find this one on YouTube. It used to be,
Yeah,
as
you
I
might-
said,
it
when
might
you
be
were
on YouTube. Oh, it's
away.
on
It used to
Tubi.
be in our 7th grade literature textbook.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's also on Paramount Plus if you get that. But
I
There you
do
go.
get Paramount Plus.
but Tubi is free.
And this is from season 1, so you
Or
wouldn't be jumping
whatever
too far
the
ahead.
other one is. Yeah, it's one
So
of those.
if I
but,
know,
you know,
Paramount Plus, I might. They may not charge extra for watching it. That's the thing with Amazon.
you just
Some
Google where
stuff on
can I
Amazon,
watch.
You're supposed to be able to get your free streaming, but no, you got to pay for some stuff.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Right then, moving on, because we're nearly 2 hours in already. Amazing. Okay, a man
Voodoo
who
has me too.
dresses like the 7th Doctor Who from the New Adventures is sitting in his. That's the chap.
That's
but
the
that's
guy.
not how he was dressed. He's listening to a tape that we assume he's narrated, and he's basically saying that the reason you haven't read anything about what I've been saying is it shows police stupidity and corruption and whatever. And then we go back to the beginning, and it's Carl Kolchak. He's a big-time reporter who's fallen on hard times. He's moved from New York back down to Las Vegas, of all places. There's a place that should be wiped off the face of the earth. I'm sorry. And okay, do this bit by bit. There is a mother. A
Mother?
A mother. No, they didn't meet, so it wasn't Moida. It's a mother. But there's something very strange about the body. All the blood's been drained from it. Then there's another mother. Except this one's really strange. The body's in a huge bay of cement. Looked like sand to me, but fair enough. But there's no footsteps.
It's like a construction site kind of
but
thing.
there's no footsteps leading out to where the body is.
So how did she get there?
Sorry. And people at home, take your headphones off. On top of that, again, no blood. The only logical explanation is she's been transported there somehow.
Did the killer throw her there?
Exactly. Did he? Kolchak, he does reach a bit initially for the vampire thing. But he's looking at the facts and saying, right, okay. And then more people get killed, similar sort of way. Then a guy runs out and he's getting nowhere with the police or anything else like that. Though it was nice to see, not Major Winchester. Shit.
Frank Burns.
Thank you. Yes, Frank
Burns.
Burns there as the coroner.
Who basically said, it's a vampire.
As best as we can
Basically.
tell. But the police aren't having this. It's madness. This is madness talk. And then the guy...
Did you know that the sheriff is actually General Urko from Planet of the Apes?
Oh, that doesn't mean anything to me, I'm afraid.
Oh, it means something to...
I used to watch
Shame
the
on
series
you.
when I was a little kid. But I was a little
You need to
kid.
watch Planet of the
No, I
Apes.
don't.
Yes.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Brian.
Well,
The eternal
Pearl
argument.
Pearl has this girlfriend, Gail,
Oh yes.
who's a lady of negotiable affection,
Mm-hmm.
who works in the casinos, and while waiting for her clients, crochets.
Yes. But she shows him a book on vampires as well. I
Yeah,
think,
she's
something
like baby's first vampire.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right. She does all
Vampires
that.
for
It's so
dummies.
funny.
Then-
Vampires for dummies. She really pushes it on him, and it's after that, and in conjunction with the more pushback he suffers from the police, the more he digs his heels in and goes, "Yes, it is."
Mm-hmm.
So you can see how the character is stubborn and where a lot of things in
And
the
why
series
he
come
got
from.
fired like 3 times in Chicago.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So the murderer raids the hospital. And no one can stop this guy. He's throwing other people around left, right, and centre. All the cops fire their guns at him, point blank. They must have missed.
They're
all of
all
them.
stormtroopers.
Yes.
They're all stormtroopers. Right?
Yes.
But yet again, the police aren't exactly too happy. But they do get from I think it's the FB, who managed, due to international contacts, to work out that from the descriptions and everything, there's a guy who's been around for about 100 years, moving from...
He's like a 70-year-old man or 80-year-old
There's
man.
an interesting
that's
thing about
doing this.
I'll finish this sentence. I promise. I will.
Try it.
Okay,
We dare
thanks. Okay. Shut up. And wherever he's gone, there have been similar murders. Sorry, murders.
Now, note that idea because that idea comes back later. Not necessarily
yeah.
in this, but in other things.
Also note this.
In many other things,
the,
yeah.
the murderer's name, Janos Skorzeny, was taken for another TV show on Fox in the 80s called Werewolf as the big bad guy.
And was it supposed to be the same character?
No. No. This guy's a vampire. That guy's a werewolf.
I like think when things join up, different programs.
That
join
guy
up.
was actually played by Chuck Connor, the rifleman.
One day I might just watch the Murder She
Yeah.
Wrote Magnum crossover.
Oh, it's we have a podcast on it.
Professor Dave's Ark in Space, it's still out there. For Christ's sake,
Pay our
somebody go
$15 a
and
month.
fix the bloody... Oh, dear cryogenic freezing.
Well, there is still a play for that works into the series because
Hang
within
on.
the first 3 episodes, right, they hit the werewolf and they have a vampire episode.
Hang on. We don't want to jump ahead. Apart from anything else, I haven't seen it.
No, I'm just saying that I'm not giving you any details or
Well,
anything.
I know
Just,
there's
you
a vampire and a werewolf coming up.
Well, and some
You
of
No,
the
I'm a
characters-
very
characters
big
coming up.
spoiler phobe, Brian.
any
I
And,
didn't
uh,
say a goddamn thing.
You didn't
supernatural
have
monster
to.
you can name.
The thing
they're
that I
gonna throw
like.
Can I just...
Yes, go
No,
ahead.
Thank you, because I will lose my train. Now they've got a description and whatever. They managed to find the guy. And Kolchak is with the police. And once again, this guy just goes through the police officers like there's no tomorrow. They're all there firing. They've even got rifles and God knows nothing. And so there's a lovely little scene back at City Hall where they're gathering around, they're trying to work out what's going on, and Kolchak just creeps in and sits at the back of the room with his feet up. And there's a pause in the and all you hear it from the back of the room is, Now are you ready to listen to me? And he says, this is what you need. Cross, stake, hammer. And he comes to a deal with them. If it turns out he's right, he'll get an exclusive story. If he's wrong, he has to leave the town within 12 hours.
24 hours.
Ti-
Okay, but here's the
typical
thing
Vegas,
about that.
to be honest.
Here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
The beauty of that moment is that when he's like, they know he's going to ask for an exclusive because he's a reporter, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
By guaranteeing him an exclusive, it means no other papers are going to print the story. So
Yep.
when they slam it down on his paper, they already know when they agree to that what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
They've
Very
already
much
got
so.
it.
And they also...
Stop, lock,
He walks
done.
right into his own doom.
They
Yeah,
also
you-
turn around and say, you can't bloody stake the guy. He's got to
You
go
can't
through his own
murder.
process. It's murder.
Yeah, you'll kill
Yep.
somebody. You can't kill
As
people.
it is, Kolchak does... He's got a friend going around the... well, we call it the estate agents, letting agencies, or...
Yeah, real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah.
Realtors.
With a
Shady
photo
Las
or a
Vegas
picture.
real estate.
Who tracks down
very
where this
shady.
guy is. So Kolchak breaks in because he's a journalist and he's allowed. Finds a missing woman who the guy's been using as a blood bank, a living blood bank.
Well,
Unfortunately,
that's so that he doesn't attract more attention.
Yeah.
It's a smart vampire move.
Oh, yeah.
the vampire comes home and Kolchak's as clumsy as the Seventh Doctor sometimes. There were pratfalls. However, the police turn
Lenny.
up. And, well, his mate from the Fabi turns up. And Kolchak is in the trying to stake the guy. And that was his mistake. Because, yeah, kills the bad guy. But they've now got a reason to get rid of him. Murder 1 arrest warrant or leave the city.
And they've had a word with Gail.
Yeah, Gail.
Yeah.
has to
How
leave
she's
the city as well.
undesirable.
She's an undesirable. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
And they run her out
he
of
won.
town.
It was a Pyrrhic victory, quite frankly. That was the movie.
He gets run out of town, loses his girl, loses everything.
Apart from the hat.
But he was right.
Yeah. So there we
and
go. Well
he
done. You've
saves
been right.
Everybody else who would have died.
Oh yeah, he's the big hero, but
He's
This-
the hero,
suffers
but
for it.
This reminded
Yeah.
me of 70s evenings on Saturdays, watching Saturday Night at the Movies. It had that feel of a 1970s TV movie from the
Well,
States.
yeah,
yeah.
and it was.
It
It was
was.
a
What it
1970s
was,
TV movie.
That's exactly what it was.
Commercial
Now,
breaks
Brian,
and all.
you've been wanting to do this for a long time, and you've been wanting me to watch it for a long time.
Yes,
you
how
probably
did
want to
you
know
like
what
it?
I fucking loved it.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
There
great,
isn't
isn't it?
any excess fat on it.
No.
No.
Rolls along
that's the best
really
part.
quickly, and it is lit.
they
and
cut
the
all
narration.
the vampire mysticism bullshit out.
Spanky,
You see him fight the
Spanky.
cops, shot, run. It's glorious.
Spanky.
Go.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
The narration as a journalist, you know, essentially it's the big sleep. I was just going down to the, you know,
Such good dialogue. It's such a good
and
script.
so you get that, and it ties it together beautifully, and you don't realise the time's passing. Yes, it's 70s. Yes, it's crappy YouTube video, but it's brilliant. I loved it, Brian. I really did. Would you like
and it's
to?
a Richard
the
Matheson
series.
script.
Would you like to talk about it because it's your love?
I'm gonna let you guys talk about it because I've already gone off on Kolchak the Night Stalker multiple times here. This is one of those. I watched it on Nick at Night when I was a kid, and this is great.
I'm 55. I shouldn't be having exactly the same reaction.
And it holds up. That's the nice thing. It goes into the realm of plausibility.
Yeah. And there's always that question: is he or isn't he a vampire? Eventually, they come down on one side,
Yes.
but
Is he insane? Yes. Is he a vampire? Again, yes. Is Carl insane? possibly.
It would be up for this.
He's a jerk.
He is a jerk. I was going to say he's very arrogant.
Fantastic.
He's an asshole, right?
Though.
Yeah.
The interaction between him and Vincenzo, his editor.
Oh yes.
The minute you know something goes bad is when Vincenzo is like, Carl, you're a good reporter.
Yes.
Yes.
You knew straight away the hammer had come down.
You knew something bad was going to happen.
Yeah. No, you're quite right.
But yes,
Their
everybody else go
relationship
for it.
is the opposite of Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not like, all right, go get the story. It's like, you jerk. You're on this story, and I don't care if you like it. You're a terrible writer.
Great.
I was
Caesar's
on
ghost.
vacation. Why?
But you know he pulled him back from vacation to do this story because he knew he would do the story.
Just
And
didn't
he
like
would
the
do the
results.
story. Yeah, he would get the results, whether or not anybody was
Mm-hmm.
going to be nice to him. And he had all the connections. And I love that he's got all those connections. Like, this is sure, fiction. But what we don't really have much anymore, which is actual newspaper reporting.
Fair.
Yeah.
You know, actual go to the sources and have
It
connections
happens
and
on the
talk
local
to all the
level.
people.
It does happen on a local level.
It does, but not on this kind of, you know, you don't have these big kind of papers. You have a few, and they're few and far between.
Yeah.
If they did it now, he'd be a blogger, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Blogger, YouTuber, something like that.
Even though they remade it like in the early 2000s or late
It's
90s or
don't
something.
terrible.
even start on that.
It was,
terrible.
And
yeah.
that's why
they-
we're
the
not
problem
doing
was
the
they had
wet
a really
job.
good actor doing it, just bad scripts.
That's why
It
we're
had
not doing the
Stuart
wet job.
Townsend in it. It was horrible.
The direction, and the cinematography in this is fantastic.
I agree.
Particularly considering it's a TV movie.
2
They-
seconds.
Plus,
did
you
not
get the
have to go
Made
this
a
70s
far.
TV
music.
movie.
Auntie's holding
You
up
get
the
the
sonic
70s
screwdriver.
movie music. That was
Brian,
beautiful.
as you're not
Yeah.
involved with this, technically, could you do a little bit of Googling and find us out what the first of all, is the second movie, is that
Oh.
after the first
It goes
one?
first
Yes.
movie,
Yeah,
Second movie series, The Night
second
Strangler.
movie, The Night Strangler,
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Night
I
Stalker,
needed to
Night
know what was
Strangler.
next.
and then the series.
Okay, so we're looking
Yeah.
at The Night Strangler next week.
Yes, the title does kind of give it away.
Really?
A little bit, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, please carry on.
Well, if you've never seen it, I mean, it is the 70s. All of the
It's
70s.
encapsulated, isn't it?
Right
Yeah.
there. The music,
The sexism.
the sexism, yeah. She was 120 pounds. Bullshit, she's 120 pounds. Bullshit. I hate that. Sorry, it's one of my things. When they're like,
I have to do
she's
maths
this.
now.
Well, they're always like, they think women weigh less than women actually do, and they give them the kind of
Right.
weights of teenagers.
My love, we're
Yes.
gentle, delicate little things that could blow away in the wind. Don't they know
Listen,
that?
And she was
Too,
folded
but
up
I'm not
like an
gonna wanna wear
ironing board
anybody's
and put in
wind.
the trash.
right.
Spanky, come on, do talking.
I was doing talking. I've been
Yeah,
talking
over
the whole
everyone
time.
else.
I probably talked myself out, but this was great because, in particular, they really did cut all the fat out. We said that, but I really did reiterate that. All the vampiric mysticism BS gone.
Yep.
There's none of that. No turning into bats or not being seen in mirrors, any weird crap. What you see of this guy is if there was a vampire and it hit the streets in today's world and just waded through a crowd of cops, that's exactly what it would look like, right? They're all shooting him. They're trying to hit him with their nightsticks. They're running him over with cars and things, and he just keeps plowing through them and then runs away. That's it. That would be, this unstoppable killing machine that's just going on, and it's so beyond the pale of what normal human experience allows, even for people like police officers to deal with, meth crazed nut jobs, or back then it would
That's
probably be
what's
like
in Florida.
TCP or something, right? That they wouldn't attribute it to a vampire. They would just go, yeah, that guy must have been on great drugs or something. But they find ways to rationalize it, to keep it within their their worldview, which has to remain a certain way for them all to keep their
does,
sanity,
doesn't it?
obviously.
In
but,
the
you know,
70s, that would be angel dust.
there you go.
Did you
exactly.
Google that?
Some PCP.
No. Didn't need to.
And
Uh-huh.
the
Ask
script
how.
is
Oh, do you wanna
so-
share?
I lived a life.
It's a
script is
safe space.
just so good.
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of notorious for watching, because I've seen this before, for watching things with a commentary on.
Fair enough.
Because
That's
you
what it's
know,
there for.
I've seen it before. It's interesting, right? I started with the commentary on and then turned it off because I wanted to hear the script.
To be fair, you should watch the film and then watch it with the commentary. People who do it the other way around really screw up in my head. If I'm honest.
I've told you how I started watching Buffy. It made Dave crazy.
You surprise me.
Yeah, I started watching with the commentary on and the notes on and because I was like, I'm just gonna get all of it at once. It'll be fine.
You
I
can't
know enough
take it
about the
all in.
background.
You can't get
Sure
the
you can.
subtleties of it.
Yeah, it's fine. But this is it's just such good writing, and Matheson is just, I mean, he's written for everything. You know Richard Matheson's work even if you don't know his name.
I'm just hoping that
Yeah.
The Night Strangler is as good. We'll have to wait
is.
and see. That was
Watch it and tell us.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing next Sunday. Lilith, you're off for 2 weeks, aren't you?
I am, and actually probably 3.
Okay, gentlemen, again, I give you the option. Would you like to take one of those 3 weeks off, or would you want us to keep going?
Let me see. What is the 3 weeks?
Well, next week my dad's here with baseball, so I may be done by,
No,
you know.
don't want to be rushing
but-
it and having that hanging over your head.
And then the next 2 Sundays, one I'm flying to, yeah,
The UK.
actually 3. Anyway, one I'm flying in, one I'll be there, and then one I'm flying back. So it's actually going to be about 4 weeks.
So a little bit's going part-time. You know,
Going
you're
on
not.
holiday.
You know, we cancel your employment benefits, don't you? I'm just saying.
Wait,
no,
we
there's
get
no
benefits?
dental here. Look.
Whoa. We get benefits?
Shit.
Yeah, that was news to me.
We're going to do some talking after this.
Yeah, we are.
Fucked that one up, didn't I? Give me a moment.
The
I'll
health
find a way
benefits are
around it.
just the cat. That's all. It's just a picture of a cat.
So, all right, next Sunday. We're going to be looking at, for Big Finish, so hopefully that's Spanky and me, we'll be looking at The War Doctor Begins, the latest volume of that. Jonathan Carley. Adam said something they were doing in Staggering Stories this week, and when he said it, I suddenly thought, actually, we haven't done that. So we're going to do the Crotons. Brian, do you want to check it's on BritBox?
We've done Protons.
Yeah, but Spanky hasn't.
Spanky hasn't. It's on Britbox.
No, I haven't.
It is on BritBox. Can you double check? Because
We've
like
done
you
it
said,
before.
What is?
the Crotons.
What's it called? Sorry. The
Crotons.
This is
Crotons.
Doctor Who.
Yep.
Oh, do you know the season?
I can find that out.
6.
The Crotons.
Season 6.
Season 6. Okay.
For Serial, the 6th season. There you go.
And you got access to it, yeah? That's
Yeah.
an important thing.
It's on BritBox, right?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, because it sort of changed a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
Let me
going
take a
to.
look.
I'm digging it up right now. I'm gonna make sure.
But we haven't done a Pat Troughton story in a long time. So,
Season 6, are you sure?
yes.
'Cause I'm not seeing it in... Oh, wait. There it is. Crotons. Yep.
It's the 4th story in, right?
Four episodes. Episode 19.
Okay, good. So you've got access to it. That's good.
Yeah.
19, the Crotons. There we go. Yep. All right, so I'll put that down. So it's Doctor Who is the Crotons.
And the War
Yep.
Doctor. And I'll sort that out for you in a moment.
Okay.
And then the penultimate episode of Callan, the Richmond Files Part 2. Can you guess what the third one's called? And also Kolchak the Night Strangler. Oh, bless, he's so happy.
Just gonna be over here making happy little Brian noises.
Okay. So that's next week, boys and girls. A little bit. What are you doing next week apart from packing?
No, I'm not packing next week. Next week it's graduation's Tuesday night.
Oh yes.
So, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll either be at work tomorrow or I won't. But Tuesday night is graduation, and I've promised my kids I will be there, so I will be there.
Oh yeah.
For some of them don't have somebody else to watch them walk across the stage.
That's so sad.
So they need the people who have been cheering them on. And we found out, without names or violating privacy or anything,
Obviously, yeah.
at graduation practice on Thursday morning, I found out one of the kids I thought was going to have to sit a whole extra semester
Yeah.
was actually graduating.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So
Can
that's
I ask
really
you a
good.
question? I know it reflects on the kids. They've done a wonderful job. How does it reflect on you? What words do you get from those higher up?
Well, they know that I'm a safe pair of hands for the kids for whom school is a bit of a struggle. Because by the time they get to their final year, right? If you're a high flyer, and my school offers Cambridge programs, so some of our kids take A levels.
I didn't.
The actual English A levels, the international thing. And then I have honors classes. We have AP classes where they get college credit if they pass their exams. And then you have honors, which are like bright kids or really hardworking kids. And then you kind of have everybody else. And by senior year, if you're in the everybody else category, it's either because you are struggling, or maybe English just isn't your thing and you excel in other areas, or you have a lot going on and you're just trying to finish. And so they know I'm going to make my kids learn interesting material. We're going to read challenging stuff. We're going to write. We're really going to learn, but I'm not going to make class an onerous task. And I'm not going to flunk kids because life is hard, or because they missed a lot of class, or for the variety of different reasons kids flunk class. So I had one kid flunk this year, and it's not my fault. They came in with a semester, an entire first semester of a 0.
I mean,
and there's nothing I can give them mathematically
Wow.
that can fix
They
it.
like just
Those
did
higher
no
up
work or
should,
anything.
with results
yeah.
like that, they should at least congratulate you.
Well, one of the really nice things that they have the kids do every year is at the end of the year, in the last month or so, they give the kids paper, a specific form, and they ask them anonymously, just the seniors,
That's useful. Yes.
to nominate teachers who really made a difference, and then just what did they do that helped you.
Yeah.
And the kids don't have to put their names on them, and they can put multiple teachers on the form. They can do as many as they want. And they go to our principal, and she tallies them up. And the kids don't know the tally part. They just know that they're giving their teacher credit. And the teacher who gets the most, or the top few, gets recognition at the end of the year. And when all the kids have gone, it's just the teachers. And they give a little gift card. And the last 2 years I've gotten one.
Nice.
Not surprised.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm starting to lilt here a little bit. We've been going for
it's
2
time.
hours 15.
But in general, I don't get a lot of people like me and people support me. And some of my colleagues think I'm too easy. And I probably am. But there are kids that need an easy class.
Plus, if they have an easier class without somebody coming down on them, they're more encouraged to try and do better.
Yes.
Because they know.
And I want to see them walk across the stage. I want them to graduate. And I want to empower them in such a way, because that high school diploma opens up doors for them that are otherwise closed. Whatever they choose to do with the rest of their life, they can say, I earned this.
I'm a trained tornado
And that
spotter.
matters. Yes, you are.
You
earned
are.
this.
We forgive you.
Thank you. Oh, God. Shit.
Trailer parks, beware.
Funny enough, I was talking about moving into one. Anyway.
No, not down here anyway.
No. Spanky next week. How's it for you?
Next week.
Yeah.
What's for Big Finish?
I told you,
I'm sorry, go
the
ahead.
War Doctor.
That's right.
It's all right. No, I mean for yourself, my love. How's the week looking?
It won't quite be the end of the month, but I'm hopefully gonna get the construction ball rolling this coming month. We'll see. So I'm
I
working
can't
on
wait
that,
to
so.
see at least some sort of artist impression of what you've got or you're having. I mean, there's no point showing me plans
when
or anything. I wouldn't understand them.
When I finally get the house design down or whatever, I'll post something and let you guys know.
Fair enough.
Might just end up with a trailer or something to knock something out to get it done quick. But
Well, to be fair, I mean, I watch a lot of Grand Designs, which is posh people with lots of money knocking down buildings or renovating buildings and coming out with ludicrous stuff. And a lot of them have to live in caravans for a year or so on site. So, Brian,
well, the lot is split in two. It's meant one part you can put a trailer on, and one part you can have a house on. So if I do put a trailer, it'll be to rent out when I build the actual house. But just
very quickly,
I'd rather build a house first. That's all.
shout out to all the bots in chat tonight.
Yay, bots.
Yeah, but yay.
Brian, your week. What do you think?
I am hoping for a very slowed down week after last.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Friday, I did 25 tickets. We only do like 5 a day.
He's the
On
only one
average.
doing it.
I'm the only one there. I have to. But no, I got a bunch of new hires coming in. I have to get set up and everything. I'm hoping later on in the week it evens out and I can spend more time doing Foundry stuff.
At work, yeah. Seriously,
pretty
when he was
much.
in his old job, when he was he just started on the Blade, he was spending most of his time watching the
Yeah.
stuff for this, listening to Big Finish. And
We had a team of 19 people taking care of
Good office.
14,000 computers or so.
Wow.
Dude.
That was a standard. It was a hospital. We got maybe 1 or 2 tickets a day, and I don't know why they kept letting them roll over into days. People have like 5, 6, 10 tickets stored up. I get a
I don't
ticket,
get
I take
that,
care of
no.
it. I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna watch, YouTube. Watch all
There
our
you go.
stuff.
as for myself, I think I'm hoping the cleaner's coming around on Thursday. I don't know. Social services are supposed to be coming around, but I've no idea when. But I'm going to try and get the wheelchair off them. Now, I don't need it all the time. It's for if I go somewhere. And Adam's with me. I'm trying to make it easier for him. Like I say, I'm eating nothing but cheese salad sandwiches at the moment. And according to my scales, which
Cheese
are ever...
salad sandwiches.
Which are
What the
ever
hell is
so-
cheese salad?
cheese, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and half of that of mayonnaise.
Okay.
According to my scales, which are ever so accurate, I've lost another half stone. I don't believe it. But I know I've got a nurse appointment where I've got my blood pressure done, have a prick up my bum, and have my weight done. So we'll wait and see. And I also finally received a letter. I've now got to get back in touch, as you know, and start the whole thing again with the trans thing. Luckily, like I say, I've passed the 2-year real life test years ago. It's just getting that referral from them to the surgeon, which is probably going to mean a visit up to them. However, they're under a lot of trouble at the moment because the government are cracking down on them and trying to shut them down. So my apologies if I do seem to overreact for the whole trans thing, but it's fucking terrifying. You know, imagine a black man in Alabama in the 50s, basically. It's a bit like that. Okay. We know what we're doing next week. That's amazing. Oh, no, we don't. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Crotons. The Crotons. I said the Crotons, didn't I?
Crotons. I put it all up in general as well.
The croutons.
The crouton.
We're
Yeah,
making
someone
salad.
was going to make that joke, weren't they?
They would go well with your salad.
It would.
Yes. I put that in
saying
general,
nothing.
and also
I'll link
a way
you
for you to
the-
watch The Twilight Zone for free.
Okay, that might be useful. Right. Thinking. I think that's it. Anybody got anything else they want to say? I'll sod you then. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We will see you
Bye-bye.
soon, a little bit. All right.
Yes.
Get a rest.
Have fun traveling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I got a
Forget
couple
the
more weeks of
baseball
work,
bat.
and then I get to travel.
Don't forget the baseball bat.
I'll take my
Okay.
crochet hooks on the plane.
You know how to choose your
Ooh.
airline, right?
Oh, I've already tickets are booked. Train tickets are booked.
Oh, I
I'm
was going to
good.
say.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
I do it the most cynical way possible, which is whoever had the last crash, because that one's crash proof until the next crash.
Don't
That's the
tell him
spanky
odds
way
don't
of
work
flying.
that way. Shh.
Yeah.
I think it's better to just let him in his little sausage world of his own, if I'm honest with you. I do.
It's a fun place, Sausage World.
I'm sure.
Everybody
It's a
likes
happy
it.
little sausage there.
We're going away now. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Again,
Toodles.
and some more.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Why is a mouse when it spins? I know the answer to that, but I'm not telling. Goat!